welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen. Yet another day for us here at the road to EWC. My name is Upmind, ladies and gentlemen. Brought with me today is the one and only Avril, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all for joining us once again. The road to EWC already comes to a bit of a head here as we have a team qualifying for Paris.
I know, we're really kicking things off, getting underway here. MIBR yesterday winning that BO5 3-0 as well, man, versus Lev. What a giant win for them. So, already kicking off to a pretty hot start in Americas here.
Yeah, and extremely tight games already. You had Sentinels already going through what was a very contested Phase 1. Phase 1, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys don't remember any of the format, well, we can kind of bring it to you guys real quick as we try to just wrap in this entire tournament. The format, ladies and gentlemen, we started with a Phase 1 of only 4 teams. Those were the 4 teams that didn't make it out of the groups in VCT Americas. That phase was hotly contested. Only a single team can make it out of that phase and make it into this week's Phase 2. That was Sentinels, and Sentinels came into it firing. They had plenty of close games, to say the very least. Yesterday, finally facing up against Crew and actually still edging them out, going 2-1. We're going to see them going into tomorrow. But ladies and gentlemen, we have made it, of course, to that Phase 2. One team already eliminated in terms of Crew, and it is BO5s from here on out. Every single qualification game is a best of 5. Of course, off stream, we're going to have Furia versus NRG. That is still going to be BO3. But as far as we're concerned here on the mainstream, best of 5s.
Best of 5s, 100 Thieves versus Loud today, and you know, best of 5 is the exact format to actually qualify in. You have to win a best of 5 to make it into EWC. Only 2 more spots as well, so you know, competition's ramping up here. One of these 2 teams you see on your screen between Loud and 100 Thieves is going to qualify in. Loser's going to have to go through that whole bracket, see how far they make it, and you know, only 1 spot left after that.
Exactly. Loud and 100 Thieves, ladies and gentlemen, for our best of 5 for today. One of these 2 teams will be making it into Paris by the end of tonight. And these 2 teams, you go back 2 weeks, you go back 3 weeks, you go back to Stage 1 in VCT, and both of these 2 teams were facing off at the very beginning of playoffs. A lower round 1 date for these 2 teams. The loser would be eliminated from Stage 1. Unfortunately, that was Loud, but they get their run back today.
Exactly, and you know, Loud, I think, looking for a better result. They've already had an insane result. If you sort of check through the bracket for this EWC qualifier, getting a huge upset versus NRG in a 2-0 at that. I mean, I think Loud are coming in with a pretty heavy statement. Both these teams obviously look to qualify into something big for this year. Neither of these 2 teams will unfortunately be going to Masters London, so this is going to be a huge opportunity for them to snag themselves a top event.
I mean, and look at this list. Look at this picture in front of you. Just teams on top of teams, talent on top of talent for the rest of this bracket, ladies and gentlemen. Again, just in the other game, you have the superstar lineup of MIBR facing off against Leviathan. You still have Sentinels. You still have NRG in that lower bracket. So this bracket, again, we just have to emphasize, is so stacked. So Loud and 100 Thieves, they look over to the rest of the bracket, and they got to think this has to be their chance.
I mean, yeah, this is their best chance. If they beat NRG yesterday, they can keep that momentum going forward. 2 days ago, rather, I should say now. They should keep that momentum forward. Beating 100 Thieves would be absolutely massive for this team, who, you know, getting knocked out so early in Stage 1 playoffs. This is a giant comeback for them, and I want to see how far they can really take it.
Yeah, in such a brutal format too. It's either you win today or you still have to play 2 more games. You go down to that lower bracket and you might have to face either Sentinels or Leviathan, but after that you're still not done. You have to play yet another game to end up qualifying for EWC. So it's either you win today or you have an extra 2 games that you have to go through against some top tier opponents, ladies and gentlemen, once again. And again, focusing back in to where we're going to be playing today's game. Again, we are looking at the updated map pool with Ascent added in. And we just bring this up for the fact that, ladies and gentlemen, this game's going to be fun. This is a little bit more classic of a map pool. These players have to be individually comfortable on all of these maps. This is as classic as Valorant will get.
Yeah, I'm happy with this map pool. Haven't seen Breeze in a hot minute for me personally in Fracture, so hopefully maybe get a couple of those maps in here. But another Corrodes, don't mind it, but I'm happy with what we got. Loud and 100 Thieves coming back with a very hot rematch. And honestly, looking at the two teams' history as well, it's actually been a while since Loud has even gotten a win versus 100T. It's been a lot of 100T victories, specifically against Loud, over the course of the last couple of years. And, you know, this Loud roster as well, really trying to see if they can push towards some sort of qualification pathway.
Right. I mean, let's just wrap it all up from this last stage. Loud, they came out of the first 2 to 3 weeks of stage 1 with a stand-in. They were playing with their assistant coach Bati. First of all, shout outs to Bati. Met that guy like 5 years ago in Spain. Still killing it. Good for him. But we are looking at a Loud roster that they really have nothing to lose. This team, again, they're pulling all of their hopes into stage 2, that they're going to be able to start from square one with Erde. And I mean, realistically speaking, this Loud roster, their expectations are still through the roof. This organization has not seen international competition for a long time, and as an organization and as a team, surely this EWC BO5 is that opportunity for them to kind of crack out of that shell.
Yeah, like you said, they're kind of playing with house money, right? I think the expectations for this team, especially coming through from the outside, is definitely going to be on the lower end, so they can have the pressure off themselves. 100 Thieves, on the other hand, I think this is a team that are trying to get themselves back in top contention. It's been a hot minute since they've been to a massive international event. In fact, look at their history. EWC last year in 2025 was that last event that they were at, 100 Thieves qualified into, and now 2 new rookies coming into 2026. 100 Thieves still trying to fight back, make it to a major, make it back to EWC.
100 Thieves, I mean, they glory hunt. I mean, this is your perennial top organization in North America. 100 Thieves, they want to win. They want to win now. That is their prerogative. Their players, they think the exact same way. So when 100 Thieves looks at VCT Americas, this has been the narrative throughout this entire year so far. 100 Thieves, they're facing the giants. They're facing the giants of the world right now. They have at least 4 or 5 other rosters, other organizations that have put in so many resources, that have gone all in on this year. In 100 Thieves, they have been left now to kind of pick up the pieces, see where they can adapt, where they can change going into stage 2. And going into this opportunity now in EWC. This is the first best of 5 that we are seeing from 100 Thieves since last year versus MIBR, also here in EWC qualies. And ladies and gentlemen, you look over to the other side. Loud, they have a player in Erde that was the IGL for, listen to this, he was the IGL for at least 4 or 5 BO5s last year, and he won 3 of them. Erde, with a young roster, with players who are now in VCT, he has been through the ringer, and even though this is a little bit of a last-second opportunity for him, he's only been with the team for a month, he's still going to have a little bit cooler of a leading style here in this BO5 than we might think.
Looking at the map video here, it's Fraction, Lotus gone, Haven split, Pearl, Breeze, and Ascent, with Haven up first. Glad to see Ascent coming through as, I believe that was at the decider as well. So let's make it all the way, man. Let's go all the way to the BO5. Looking at Loud's performance yesterday, I think, or rather 2 days ago, I think they've got certainly the capability to win this one if they can keep that momentum up. But for 100 Thieves, it would be nice to see them at EWC again. Obviously, there's some opportunity. We talk about the fact that there's a lower bracket, but it looks like a pretty stacked lower bracket, though. So if you drop down in there, it will be pretty rough. 100 Thieves. Let's see what these teams will be doing for us in our Agent Select. Map 1 Haven.
Yeah, let's see, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what we have here. If this is going to be anything different. Give myself a little bit of a check 1 2. I might be a little bit clearer now. I don't think I was using the right microphone a little bit earlier. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? You're hearing me in full 4K HD. What's up, everyone? Back at it once again, though. We do have our Haven picks, and what we have expected again and again from 100 Thieves has been the double duelist. It's almost the same thing here with Loud, and it does seem like we're basically going to be getting the same 2 compositions, just the Fade coming in instead.
Yeah, moving in through a couple of slightly different picks. I mean, we're still keeping the Phoenix on for Loud. It's just going to move position from Dark onto Luke Show instead. Otherwise, mostly what we expected. Our teams dropping the Chamber on the Loud side. Not going to be playing with that one. Getting back over towards Cypher. Phoenix coming back in play as well. Loving this double duelist, Phoenix and Neon. As a reminder, we are still on the pre-nerf Neon, pre-nerf shotgun. So teams pushing themselves back to Neon contention. Not a big surprise here.
No, yeah, we're still going to be seeing Neon both able to be a proactive, being a reactive, elite agent. Both in pre-plan, both in post-plan. If anyone's trying to just weasel their way into a corner, we're still going to have Neon there for some sneaky interactions. Ladies and gentlemen, again, 100 Thieves stepping into a Haven map that is still, I can't even say that there's really a line that you can draw between these two teams throughout the season. Haven has been such a consistent map for realistically every team in VCT Americas. We've gone down to a little bit more of a Haven fracture type meta where every team needs to have these two maps in their back pockets. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. A best of 5 to decide who goes to Paris.
A lot of early setup in terms of aggression coming through from the Loud side, but nothing spotting over towards C. That's going to be the trip. Showing positioning coming through from the 100 Thieves side in a completely clean site for now. An easy plant. Slowing the reapproach here. Erdy coming in first. Flashes are good onto Arsena. 4v5 early, secondarily onto Cryo. See if there's any good response. Vora so far is going to be able to get a couple more. Teemo cleaning up the last two. And Vora is triple. Able to give the opportunity now for, again, free site plant. Vora getting a triple. Allowed. Completely gambling on, I would say, the wrong side of the map. Pretty aggressive over towards Garage. Over on B as well. Leaving C completely open, Gus.
Recovering it. Go, go, go.
Just gonna burst in real quick. I'm not exactly up to that 4K quality, but still fairly decent coming off of that that exec, ladies and gentlemen. We're still gonna have yet another organized attempt coming out from the attack side. I'm gonna let Avril take it from here for now. He'll fix things and be right back.
Well, let's see what 100 Thieves can make their way over towards A. This time, pretty large stack coming through from Loud. Short side, looks short. Potentially spotted by Prowler, but his team went in early on site onto Darker. Already making their way onto site. Spike being dropped here. A little bit of problems with only pistols once again on the side of Loud. Not able to really stop anything from Teemo team. So rifles just completely destroying Erde. The last remainder here from Verdi. Won't expect too much here, obviously.
I'm out of here. Gotta go.
Let's see what we get for our first buy on the Loud side. And again, we're really proud for the spot. We already have players from 100 Thieves so quickly on site over from short side.
Gotta go.
As we hope to have Gus joining us back once again. And we'll see what...
Thanks for that. Thanks for the formal introduction. Yeah, back at it. As now we do get to see finally an individual piece of 100 Thieves stepping into a setup in Verdi, able to take advantage of Asuna just picking and prodding through. That's really what Asuna does best. It is making space, it is advancing like that, but this time he ends up getting caught with that mentality. And now Erde, he's just in a win condition type spot here. He takes this spot out from Bang. Basically the rest of this round is taken in, but we're back at it again with the 3v5. Another individual attempt over towards Garage, and Darker is there again!
You've already tried to prowler through that one. Darker with the straight punish. I was going to push down. Lock himself in towards the cubby. This should be 100 Thieves now exploring back over towards mid. Low numbers here with 45 seconds left to play through. Just Luke's show so far. Playing towards Gong. Triple setup on A still for Loud, but so healthy in terms of membership.
Yeah, this is golden here. Technically here for the attackers. They don't know what type of gift they've been given here. Just Luke Show again in the back. And you say just Luke Show, but man, you give him a chance. He's able to take full advantage. Talented player, second year in pro play. Let's take advantage of finally Loud's first big opportunity, first round with guns, and it's flawless.
First round of the guns, flawless. Massive shutdown up towards the garage side. We're attempting to make something work over there. And they're flawless to get themselves back into action after, well, a couple of early round losses, but no big deal there. Team already on 7 out of 8 towards Alt as well. And Economy's starting to bounce back nice and well for Loud.
It is interesting here that they do have that ultimate so close. The Phoenix ulti, if it is there instead of the Neon, oh my goodness. It's basically a free entry into a site! What?
Straight through the smoke as well. Man, giant shots onto Verdi. Took a massive shot early on into the dome. That's actually both players on
again.
C. Already gone. Now a little bit of a walk down from Erde on towards A. In fact, there's going to be a walk down from everybody on the Loud side, whatever remains of them. Cryer hiding behind box. The side obviously going to be taken away for free.
Yeah, just a quick aim challenge. A couple quick duels over towards long, and now over towards mid. There's really not much you can do. Great position from Cryo. And yeah, of course, that's the round. Yeah, Loud getting a little bit too over-ambitious over in C. Can't exactly blame them. It is kind of cut and dry. You're just trying to go for just a single tap, just a single entry, make the rest of the round easier. But man, once you start to really try to pick up the pieces, trade and trade and trade, peek and peek and peek. Yeah, again, it's just it's a losing battle at that point.
Smash the damage from Arsenal early on as well. But you see Verdi getting chopped up through that smoke, loses both your players on C from the Loud defense. Gonna swap up the setups a little bit here. This time it's gonna be Uri and Darker moving over on towards that C end. Massive stack up though from the 100 Thieves on towards A this time around. A little bit of exploration coming through from Timo early on. Drone to spot out. And only sees Timo, I believe. Starting to draw over a couple of the rotators here. Starker starts to move. Uri wanting to walk down and instantly punish by Bang. It's like a triple setup through window, I believe.
A couple shots ringing out there at the mid side. Just the attackers. 100 Thieves trying to pick up a bit of a ping. As the defenders, again, they do still lock down onto their closer positions in the mid side rather than reposition. And they don't exactly have amazing util to try to reconnect here onto C. To try to retake C. As you can see, I mean, they're compensating for that. They're grouping up together as early as possible.
Loud, once again, just walking down. They've done this a couple times now. Lose a player, lose information, start to get active on the map, but they do give up the C site once more. This has been a couple of now few rounds we've had on opening on C. The good news is they all have this time equipment. It was that opening round. I remember that obviously on the pistols, nothing going for them. Good spot on to Bang as well. Verdi with the heads up play, and now for the retake. Kawazine Odin spam gets Arsena. And now real opportunity 4v3.
It's a crazy spam too. Timotino can't get out of there, and it's Verdi with a double there at the end. Triple on the round. And just like that, 100 Thieves. They almost let Loud make it look easy. They just stomp on through. Individually speaking, 100 Thieves, they couldn't get anybody together. All of those kills happening, one by one.
Well, we've seen Loud mess that up before, you know, on the earlier rounds. Not able to get that retake on towards C, but heads up play by Verdi to catch any stragglers that could still be flanking them. Now both our Neons towards Overdrive. Run it back on ball for Luke Show as well. Origin spam ended up working out pretty damn good for Loud in that last round.
Just one of those maps too. A lot of spammable places.
Oh, aggression.
Odin's gonna come up huge, and look at this. Speaking of huge, that's a huge play coming up from Verdi over towards long, but can't do anything with it. One more person on the other side of the nebula trying to pop out. Timotino watching his 6, but nobody pops out just yet. Timotino might have the timing, but Kawan Zine has his timing. 4 on 3.
And
4 on 2.
Unspotted. Once again, Loud. They're happy to just walk on down. Darker still. We're going to see if we can find somebody through that wall. Phoenix on Phoenix at Arsenal. He needs to check left. Isn't going to be able to do so. Luke Show. Good for it. Now the last player, Bang. Low HP as well. Trying to make his way up short. Will be able to get a free plant here, you would assume. Will probably be the best he can get away with.
And the fact that he is going to get a plant here is huge. It's 4 on 1. Barely any util. Barely any HP.
Obscuring vision.
Opponents know exactly where he is. They've corralled him. Especially now with the spike down. Bang! Let's see how he can dance. There's 3 players coming over towards long. Bang warming up a little bit. Is posturing himself to try to get a spray down, but finally, up comes the pixels from the long area, and there goes Loud. Already returning this game into form, 3-3.
Yeah, a massive few rounds so far. For Loud, again, really wanting to show that aggression. This time, I mean, they did lose a play early on, Verdi getting stunned up and punished over towards A long, but the response from Kaozin is specifically the response coming through from the rest of players crunching down in mid and walking even into the window. You have 100 Thieves right now, have to be very concerned about the fact that this aggression is something they need to take into mind. So I wonder if they to play things a little bit slower, see if they can catch somebody out from Loud. They are massively grouping up this time over towards A. Don't suspect that we'll see anything massive from Loud on that A side, but very similar setup to what we had on that pistol right. 2-man garage, 2-man mid. That's just a single drone from Kaozin to try and spot players. Only sees the single on the Neon.
He only needs a single kill, though. 1 away from the Hunter's Fury. And with all these players kind of bunched up, he could have a real fun time connecting the dots. And this is just allowing time for the rest of Loud to already crunch up on A long. They've cleared out C. Kawanzin posturing himself back and has to keep going back. There goes the Darkfall, the Nightfall. They know exactly where he is now, still over towards Heaven. They're going to be able to get this plan easy. And Cryo, he could be the one connecting the dots instead. 1 for Cryo, but not more than that. 4 on 4 for the rest of the round.
I couldn't get out of that situation, but now you just got the 3 for Loud remaining. Next, you've got this crunch coming through. Multi-angle retake. It's the 2 coming up. Long that would be really interesting. Paranoia still held in. Opportunity now to drop in, but Kaozin is already dead from Heaven, and even now, Flash is good from Arsenal. Big cleanup from 100 Thieves. 4 players remaining. Economy should be looking healthy off that.
Bullets hurt.
That's tough. Tough there from Loud. Kawanzin, there's only so much you can do there. In terms of holding off time, holding off for the rest of your teammates to be able to rotate, Loud put all of their effort into this long hold, or into this long take. And it's all going to come down to somebody like Asuna there, just a person that has no responsibility in that sort of moment, head on a swivel. Good for him. It's just Asuna doing Asuna things, still back at it. Need a pause here. It's good to see Loud with such an early pause. They did the same the last time they faced 100 Thieves. And this game is remarkably closer in comparison to that other one, too. This timeout is very disciplined, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, you'd lose a single round, get back into the timeout. They had that 2 in a row beforehand as well. And basically every single round, we've seen Loud do some sort of walk down. If you're 100 Thieves thinking about this right now, particularly, I believe it was like a couple rounds back where you had a massive walk down all the way into window. That's something 100 Thieves have to be very concerned about in terms of how aggressive Loud have been on many of these rounds so far. And again, it's another Loud setup where they're going to be ignoring the C side of the map for the time being. Maybe a little bit of movement to cover that angle. Typically looking to be where Verdi is where we're going to see some action, and big triple setup over on B for that.
And you can see the lack of urgency here from 100 Thieves. They felt so much pressure from this mid area again and again and again, that now they're respecting Loud. Luke Show, Verdi, the 2 duelists ready to clamp.
I mean, you look how willing 100 Thieves are to just receive the pressure come out from Loud, expecting Loud to do something, particularly in mid. Loud's walked down mid multiple times now. Flash through, didn't spot anything. Just trying to see if he can find the sole defender or Darker.
He could be able to get a pixel on the ledge right next to him. Stepping up further and further. Realistically speaking, everyone here from 100 Thieves, they're just respecting the space from Loud just so they can get a single pixel. They're all looking for a pick.
Just slow round, but walking up with the Tor. This is the opportunity. Cam likely to spot Cryo on approach. Barrel will certainly betray him. There it is. Barrel spotted. And a quick swing, but still Dark goes down. He'll take the Tor with him. Zigzag comes through. Arsenal looking for players on the backside. Couple of good flashes. Running has been popped, and Overdrive as well on top of that one. 100 Thieves so far with some decent looking kills on 2 defenders.
One enemy remaining.
He's going to get
Player
tripled.
standing.
Massive defense so
Spike
far. Leading
down.
for 1
C.
versus 1. But it's Banger that cleans it up.
Unreal! Bang had to pick up the pieces. Verdi! I mean, incredible from him. He realized the pressure, needed to step out into the open, pick down whoever he could pick down, do something with that ultimate. But how disastrous was that? What a quick response coming out from Vora. But again, Asuna, he was just trying to find these kills as quickly as possible. These loud players, they were so disconnected from this site, needed Verdi to be a hero. And at the end of the day, Bang even getting that last kill, it was fairly unnecessary. Verdi was on the open throughout that entire clutch.
Recovering it.
Another slow round coming through from the starting phase of 100 Thieves again. Just waiting to see what kind of walk down we get this time. Pretty large movements over towards A side. The Paranoia is still in hand as well. Let's see if Verde wants to make a move here. Likely just covering this entrance alongside Verdi, who had a massive, as you mentioned, play on that last round. Overdrive in hand.
Still no win.
Here we go. Paranoia, but doesn't end up saving Verdi.
It needs to back out immediately.
Like him tag.
Just an individual approach here from Timotino. Erde takes him down, nobody else right behind him. When I say right behind him, I mean just right behind his 6. There's still a couple attackers tempting this A area, and this stack is here. There are 2 players in the back. No, 3.
There's a divide. Darker now should be making his way in. Slow though. 100 Thieves looking... Okay, might just go quiet a little bit.
30 seconds left.
Moving across the map. There's time for that move. I mean, what you really see is in the middle, Cryo's explored through B.
Oh, incredible. Cryo is taking this time here
Yeah.
to just make this connection to see a little bit more possible. But no, he's just sweeping out space, see if anybody will rotate in. And this just allows Luke Show. Luke Show comes in, sweeping away 1, but only allowed 1. Kawan Scene coming in with a cleanup. Cryo still in connector, still looking for the spike. 1 man around the corner. He has no time. This round is over, ladies and gentlemen. 100 Thieves finally dropping around here to Loud. And this one was a bit of a head scratcher for Loud for just a quick second there, but able to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, I realize they lost control, right? Because you get Darker all the way in spawn, but they've lost complete mid-map control in terms of B. I believe Cam was still spotting towards C. And eventually, 30 seconds left to go. Cosmic Divide comes down, no exit going on to A. You gotta know that something is up on the map, and 100 Thieves slowly moving their way through. Or, I should say, quickly moving their way through at times. Looks ready to receive him, and he got that perfect flank all the way around Gong. Spotted Vora, completely uncontested. Oh, 5-4, 400 Thieves.
Here.
With Loud, bringing one back. Through this.
My camera is destroyed.
Actually, no, never mind. That was mid. Only the case.
Here.
So Erde being so sharp. Again, we're talking about a player that was barely allowed to even be in VCT going into this year. Now stepping up in a leadership role for this Loud roster. But now look at 100 Thieves still putting on a bit of a threat here. Timotino stepping up with a kill off the classic. Kawan Zine looking to see if anyone steps up. But this is a massive plane coming in from 100 Thieves. Let's see if they can pick up the pieces. Verdi picking up another one off the Apollo. One more in the gap. Kawan Zine looking for him. Verdi finding another one. And this one done without any drama.
You ult for it, run it back. Get yourself in, play that one safe. 4 players still alive. Yeah, Erde the only player going down. That's after he got first blood as well, so self-trades that one. No issues for Loud in that retake. As it's got to be 100 Thieves now after losing that last round. Seeing what they can do after slightly recovering their economy. I mean, barely able to purchase up fully for this round as well. Let's just see what Cryo ends up picking up also. We had this sort of Guardian being rotated on Loud for some time now that Erde's been able to find a lot of opening picks with now in Verdi's hands.
I mean, yeah, this map does allow for it. It's a little bit of a sniper's paradise just because of the longer distances. Guardian, the Outlaw coming up big these last couple of rounds. Verdi coming up with the Outlaw. And it's good to see that Loud again. They're just cutting down 100 Thieves' options little by little before they even step into a site. That's all you really need. I mean, you have a team full of aimers. You might as well just keep them proactive. You don't need to, keep throwing Verdi out there super close every single round. You don't need to scale up Luke Show and mid every single round. So good to see the Loud again, just varying their approaches again and again here in this first half. And that's all that we really want to see. We want to see progress from this Loud team. We really don't have a perfect look at how this iteration of Loud plays. Again, they just brought in Erde less than a month ago as their in-game leader. An in-game leader that is just about 18 years old. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
So again, yeah, we're really, we're in the weeds here. We're learning alongside y'all at home.
Well, big look for Loud so far. Again, huge upset win against NRG just a couple days ago. Sniper back in the hands of Cryo. Checking for the long angle because we've seen, again, aggression coming through from Loud. Led by Verdi, oftentimes. Prowler, I think that did get a spot, so looking to see if they can find a trap in terms of players hiding around that corner. Flash in. It's a lot of movement and utility being spent. Should be calling over for some rotators.
Cryo calling one. They don't have a line of sight into the back
already
side
executed.
just yet. A couple defenders making it through the wall. This is going to be a hard hold here from Loud. Loud has two in the back. Ferdy holding down one, but not able to get any more. 100 Thieves in one fell swoop. All three going down for Loud. And now it has to be a 2-on-4 retake to try to take this half now. 100
One
Thieves
enemy remaining.
looking to take a semblance of an advantage going into the second half, going into the defensive side. And Vora still sweeping up another one. Darker can't really do much here. He's not going to put a dent into the economy either. They're going into the last round of the half. If anything, he wants to stay for the rest of his team. Yeah, it just easy stuff there, it looked like, from 100 Thieves.
As soon as 100 Thieves started to make some noise over towards long, full send, walls up, speed in, slide, and completely execing on that site. Fast plant, and Darker won't even be able to play for exits here either. I mean, it's looking like we could get a 6-6 halftime. Plenty of ults to play through on that final round as well. Specifically looking over towards 100T's side. Nightfall's going to be pretty massive
Last
here.
round before the switch.
Running back Nightfall. Less to play through with, unfortunately, from the Loud side. Loud have opted for, at least now, a little bit more of a passive approach on the defense. Previously in the earlier rounds, a lot more walkdowns. Erde thought about popping through from the smoke and short as well. Thought better of that. Defensive operator in hand for Verdi now, so definitely expect him to take that early angle.
Get to see 100 Thieves face on a bit more aggressive of a Loud angle back over towards long. Two players on the other side of this nebula looking for an early peek.
Luke Show walking down.
Anything. This is about to go down, but Luke Show, he's not going to catch anything just yet. He's going to maintain that position. Here comes the walk-up. Verdi able to get one. Needs to dash away. Is able to do so. Still has a little bit of coverage right behind him. Kawanzine able to back up with his life. And Verdi with yet another kill. The run it back is gone. The entry into sight is gone. Erde with a double. This has to be the round. 2-on-5. Loud looking to equalize going into the second half. That's exactly what they do, Avril.
100 Thieves wanted to speed up there. They decided to go nice and quick towards the end there on A, but this time Loud are just ready. We talk about the opportunity for the 6-6 end to the opening half, and that's exactly what's going to happen. 100 Thieves, I mean, had a round before that. Hello, Gus. He is alive. He is with us, in fact. I'm glad to see
Hi,
Loud
hello.
punish it the second time around.
Yeah, no, good stuff. An incredible little game to start off our night, ladies and gentlemen. Best of 5. Best of 5, ladies and gentlemen. Whole lot of Valorant still. Let's go over to a break real quick, and we'll be right back.
Despite being dropped here, a little bit of problems with only pistols once again on the side of Loud.
Enemy remaining.
Got him to running back has been popped, and another drive as well on top of that one. 100 Thieves so far with some decent looking kills and 2 defenders different
One
remaining.
enemy remaining.
Verdi! He's gonna get
Last player
triple.
standing.
Massive.
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm alive this time, ladies and gentlemen, alongside with Avril, and we are live right in the middle of our round. A couple seconds in, Timotino, massive opportunity to pick up a couple and to try to hold down C for his teammates to be able to rotate. He has 3 players looking to get over towards C as quickly as possible, and he's technically done it. A little bit of a molly in front of him from his opponents to help him out, but Timotino does hold off C. His teammates do have a little bit of space to work with. Avril, we're back.
We are certainly back, and just a 1 player down so far, but 100 Thieves still looking in competent fashion. Slow down and cutting all noise on the loud side so far. Does look like it'll still end up being a C finish, Darker, to draw some attention away, and the attention has been found. He'll just get taken down by us, and doesn't see that angle.
Immediately gone, and Timotino with yet another opportunity for a frag. Make it a second. Timotino puts in so much damage onto these last 2 players too. No chance, surely. Asuna,
30 seconds
full
left.
HP alongside the rest of his teammates. All 3 full HP. Luke Show just out in the open. Bang! Love to see it from Asuna.
Big round for Timo. Obviously held his own over towards C solo. Doesn't move from his position. Understands the possibility of that C finish, which is exactly what Loud were banking on. Darker dies in mid. Go time for the rest of Loud, and just a big cleanup on C.
Very disjointed though. Very, very weird to see Loud not be able to kind of do something off of that contact. Of course, you could clearly tell that they were looking for a bit of a 2-part setup. They wanted somewhere else to go from there. They ended up going towards B. But it's just the pistol. The fact that they had the 2 players looking for just some classic aim duels. They had no other information. Again, Loud. They put themselves on the back foot immediately by not trying to fight that.
Fast speed. Timo's with the Judge, though. That's a double so far.
And
again, Judge still good. Shotgun still good. Slide and win. There's 100 Thieves. Nearly got a flawless. There's just a Darker kill onto Timo. Puts a little bit more into Loud's pocket. Fast round, Gus.
And has to be with the shotgun. We already know, ladies and gentlemen, things are going to change a whole lot going into Masters. But here in this tournament, ladies and gentlemen, we still very much have Neon and the shotguns at their full capacity. So we're going to see it taken advantage of. If that's what it takes to make it to Paris, that's what it takes.
Asuna's already got ult, by the way. Nice quick farm up on the defensive side. Timo not that far behind. Let's see what we get out of this. First buy round coming in. Again, big stack over. We'll see both teams, by the way. Timo looking like he'll eventually make his way over.
No pixels shown. No information being picked up back over towards A and B either. These players from Loud are really just cutting off noise, just allowing the paranoia to kind of settle in, the discomfort to kind of settle in here for the defenders. I'm going to send off a look here.
Lack of information themselves are going to be droning out all the way into A. You've already had movement from 100 Thieves in response to the cutting of the noise. Again, leaving Darker to be the one to scout out and play lurk on the other side of the map. This is free so far, walking up. Players have started to arrive, though, in a good spot so far for Austin to eventually flash through.
Molly landing into the corner. Here comes the exec. Cryo playing up with only a headhunter, and it's just not going to work out. Asuna's going to be able to come back with the run it back. Timotino finally down, but there's still 1 man in the smoke. They've noticed Cryo basically this entire time. It's going to be a one-on-one. Darker from behind. Darker taking on all of his attention, almost going down. His position is still going to be so important for the rest of this round. Birdie goes down, and now it's basically a 1-on-3. Luke Show, if he gets found, he's gone. But the run it back still gets reloaded, and now he's here, ladies and gentlemen. 2-on-1 for Luke Show. Bang on 1, and now 1-on-1. Darker, they know where Darker's coming from, but the more time that it takes, the more time that Darker could potentially be coming up from behind. Cryo, head on a swivel, hard covering these corners, still catches up onto Darker, and wins the round for 100 Thieves.
Not a lot of HP left for Darker, unfortunately. Something like 37, trying to buy attention away. The fact that he even lurked all the way up B, drew attention, gave Verdi an opportunity. It's just unfortunate where Verdi ends up being turned around on by like 3 members of that 100T defense. Could have been a really nice crunch from those 2 players specifically.
A gift.
And that last 1v1, Crow, you definitely favor him there. Has the advantage in HP. Taps the spike, forces Darker to make the move. Still got the plant, though. Both our running backs were actually expended in that last round.
Both took great success. Asana's running back, really freezing people in the middle of sight. You couldn't really run. The line of sight being watched over towards heaven. Back over into this round. Yet another split approach. This time, a lot more aggression over towards the mid side. Darker. Not exactly making his presence being known. He has a golden position over in mid. Cryo. Notice the rotation in. Picks down one. And the position might be there for Darker over towards the mid side.
Oh.
But 100 Thieves, they still have surveillance over the site itself. There's no way that they can go through. Vora picks one. Erde looking to just pick up the pieces, but it's just not going to happen. Pistol round goes the way of 100 Thieves, and this is going to be one of Loud's last stands.
Trademark in B as well. Really difficult scenario for Loud to break through. Loud will finally get a bit of money back, but rounds are starting to slip away from them very quickly. Just looking at the scoreline already. We ended this half, the first half 6-6, but immediately it's going to be 4 rounds in a row. Cryo fast on it, quick rotation, immediately switching over towards B. Odin was there anyway from Vora. Even if Cryo wasn't rotating, I think Vora would have had the easy cleanup.
It would have been tough.
Very necessary timeout, I think, for Loud.
With the velocity, anything could happen. Anything could happen in the close quarters. If you still have the neon, anything could basically happen in a tight site like B. But yeah, can't doubt that. Can't doubt that. Vora has been lights out. Anyone with the Odin has been lights out so far, if we're being honest. But again, this is the big chance that I was mentioning. Loud, dwindling on the eco, dwindling on the rounds. This has to be the round for them to get back into this game, or else they're going to have to fight for overtime. They're going with a half buy. They're keeping that distance in mind.
Mm-hmm. They can get away with this. Still decent weapons, but low on the armor. Be good for them to get back their economy, but just the round difference is going to be rough for them. Certainly going to be a risk pushing this one into potential OT territory. More Odin spam to start things out with it. Look at the HP bars going down already. Verdi just being dropped through the wall, and Kawazine as well on half HP. The spam differential coming through from the 100 Thieves side is massive. Tucked in as Timo as well.
Perfect. Perfect onto Verdi. Verdi just can't do anything for the rest of the round now. That neon, that penetrative force is just gone. Tino around the corner upgrading his weapon too. Luke Show looking to cherry pick himself a bit of a kill, but it's not going to happen. 2 players remaining here for the attack side, and Loud going out with a bit of a whimper right now. This is starting to look a little bit difficult. Kawazine, however, steps up to the plate, takes out Vora. And good watch from Cryo. Takes out Erde. Kawazine 1v5, 25 HP. And individually here, 100 Thieves. No issues whatsoever. Everyone has their spots. Everyone succeeds in their spots.
It's tough as well because, you know, you talk about the half buy there coming through from Loud. It's a lot of half armors. Really easy for 100 Thieves to punish that one. Odin spam's massive. A little bit of phantom spam as we saw from Arsenal as well. And just to finish that one off, Judge from Timo into half armor. Easy as you like it. And now, I mean, this is the economy we have to work through for the rest of the rounds, really. 4 Loud. Try and catch this up. 5 round gap now.
Big exec onto A for now, just to see if they can get a couple of early interactions, and indeed they do. Erde even coming in, taking out Asuna, but Asuna on the run it back. Bang coming up from behind. That's yet another player down over and long. Asuna needs to make the round all the way back towards spawn, but nobody's on site here for the attackers. Bang keeps holding him off. Spike still down over towards spawn, and this is enough time for the defenders to take over site. Asuna here on time, and he's going to be able to heal. Watching over still the choke points. Watching over Cat. Asuna back to 100 HP. Even strength now to try to hold off a 1-on-2 here on A. He's dancing.
Massive.
Able to pick up another. Asuna does it again.
Just giant 1 versus 2. Doesn't matter. We'll find it both. Heal up to full just for the insurance policy. But really, I credit a lot of that round to Bang, finding his way open to mid through the window, catching a timing onto multiple players, walking in towards A. This is what I'm talking about. Trip or no, doesn't matter. Look at this ending as well from Arsenal.
Wow.
Could have been tricky if he doesn't find that first kill. Plant comes through, round could go the other way, but Arsenal, massive heroism towards the end.
That's all it is. That's all it has been. Asuna. Cool, calm, collected, experienced. Now, Asuna steps up to the plate when his team needs it, but look at this quick take. Birdie looking for his target, looking for his victim. He finds Cryo. Erde finds Asuna. Fora taking on this pressure. The run it back works. And Loud, they really just inundate 100 Thieves here.
Wow.
They're able to take away a quick one back.
Yeah, really fast round coming through. Stun setup as well. And even over towards spawn, Carlsing winning his 1v1. Making sure there's no issues in terms of flanks. A strong response from Loud, who didn't waste any time on that round. Didn't need to play any sort of defaults. This first kill to Cryo was so disgusting. Hunter's Fury being ripped through as well. Just a change of pace for Loud to trip things up a little bit for 100 Thieves. And obviously, a lot of rounds required now for Loud to win. So changing up the tempo a little bit to put 100 Thieves on the back foot.
So tough that Loud just couldn't get their footing here on this map, but this is them really trying here. Cryo dropping in after a huge kill in mid, and this has to be it. 100 Thieves looking to cap it off here. Nightfall coming in, getting all of that information, wrapping these players up in connector. Luke Show goes down, Erde in a 1v5. Surely he's done and out. Ladies and gentlemen, 100 Thieves take away the first map.
Yeah, really comfortable in that second half as well. Again, we finished the first half 6-6, Gus, and at that point you're thinking pretty even. Maybe hoping this one will be able to have a decent second half as well, but it was just all 100 Thieves for the most part. 6 rounds in a row, massively punishing for Loud, and Loud at least got one back on that round 7 in the second half where they changed up the tempo a little bit, but straight back to business for 100 Thieves to end things off on 13. And
yeah, it is a little bit weird just to see that pace change for Loud come in a little bit too late there. But I mean, it's kind of what we saw in the first half. Loud, they were playing a remarkably different style at the beginning of their defensive half. They were going a little bit aggressive, peeking and prodding, looking to see if 100 Thieves would show a couple of pixels too early. And then when 100 Thieves adapted to that, Loud, they simply defaulted. They went back to their positions. They went back to the back of sites, focusing on delaying for rotations instead, just focusing on the first picks. And they were still able to do something off of that. I'm not saying exactly that mentality was what led them to take a couple rounds in the first half. But Loud, again, it took them a little while to adapt, and we ended up kind of seeing that again in the second half.
yeah, some massive rounds, especially in terms of 100 Thieves taking advantage and moving down. We saw how many times Loud got aggressive on their own defense, but when 100 Thieves did it, big flank from Bang, huge plays from Arsena, 1v2 over on the A side of the map, which that was a round again that could have gone badly for 100 Thieves despite all the heroism. Yeah, a couple of those rounds slipping away from Loud and not winning their gun round either on that third round of the second half. Still not a bad performance mechanically when you look at scorelines from Verdi. Erde as well. A little bit quiet on the Colzine and Darker side with, as you'd expect, Timo and Arsena, especially Arsena, really showing up on the 100 Thieves end.
I mean, it's remarkably darker. Remarkably different for Darker because the last time that we even saw this team play on Haven, they played with a slightly different comp. We had Darker playing on the Phoenix, actually. Darker's been playing a crazy different, you know, set of agents. He's always been a little bit flexible. I remember him playing Yoru back over in like Ascension 2023. But again, we're seeing a team now that they're still trying to get their footing under them in terms of what even are their priorities. Where is everyone even comfortable on this roster? And again, it kind of shows here. Darker had 14 kills on the attack side for Loud against Leviathan on Haven. Certainly different this time with him playing up on the Omen instead. We do have our full series once again, just to catch you guys up. All 5 maps in front of y'all. Split coming up next instead. Again, Haven was a little bit difficult of a story throughout the season for Loud, considering the fact that they didn't have Erde for most of it. The one time that they finally ended up getting a win was the last time that we saw them on Haven, and their attack side was basically perfect. You know, it was a snowball, and that's actually something big that we've seen in Valorant come up in the last year or two, has just been the effect of snowballing and how to basically stop it. And it does seem like Loud kind of falls victim to that snowballing, where against 100 Thieves started to snowball in their game. They couldn't catch up. They only won a combined round score of 8. They only won 8 rounds in their best 3 versus 100 Thieves in VCT. And again, it just seems right now that Loud, when it comes to adapting early, making big changes, whenever the changes are kind of right in their face, they can't. They're just not pressing the trigger.
Yeah, I'm going over to split as well. This is going to end up being map choice for 100 Thieves, who last time they played against Loud on this map was a bit of a blowout as well. So Loud already losing their opening map choice is definitely a bit of a sting, and hoping this series will be competitive still, because otherwise it's 100 Thieves just continuing their win streak against Loud. They've won the last 4 times up against Loud when these two teams have matched up over the course of the couple of years now, but perhaps still Loud can get that comeback. Well, Gus, we'll take a break before we get there. When we do come back, Nat 2 of this BO5 comes up split after this.
Nice try. I'm out of here.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Going up.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing. One enemy remaining. Last player standing. Team Ace.
Welcome back once again to the road to EWC, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Upmine, joined once again by Avril. We're on the road to Paris, ladies and gentlemen, as 100 Thieves, one map number one. They are 2 maps away from going to Paris, ladies and gentlemen. Loud on the other side. They're coming into this best of 5 with, quote-unquote, house money. They come in with barely any expectations. This team is pretty new, to say the least. And coming out of that second half, Avril, what do you say maybe are some expectations for them going into the rest of the series? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, so far, you're right. Loud definitely playing with house money. The expectations are much higher in the 100 Thieves and Loud. I wouldn't say they're just happy to be here. They've already got a huge upset win over NRG, and so at this point, any further wins, anything they can get, making it into EWC will be absolutely massive. I think the pressure is definitely going to be high on the 100 Thieves, and cleaning up that first map, though, even on Loud's map choice, is really large, and then going into map 2, which is split, and that's 100 Thieves' own map choice, which is a rematch of that lower bracket game, which actually knocked out Loud, which is, to memory, a bit of a blowout split, 13-4. Loud did not have a good time on that split, so this needs to be a big turnaround now for Loud, because otherwise you're looking at match point very early on in this BO5.
I mean, you take away the pistol round, and Loud only won 2 rounds. It's simple as that. They won the pistol, they won the bonus after that, and after that it all fell apart. All fell apart for Loud when it came to the split. A lot of that you can attribute to the fact that on the attack side, they just weren't able to adapt. It was the same thing that I was talking about earlier, where they run into a very aggressive defense from 100 Thieves. Asuna, he loves playing Sage on this map. Sage, there's really only so much you can do. Once you put down that wall, you're basically free to do whatever you want. And we saw Asuna on this last map. Whenever he does have an opportunity just to kind of fire a couple bullets through a smoke, he can just kind of be a nuisance in one position. He's going to be that nuisance. He's going to allow enough time for his teammates to rotate. He's going to take away a little bit of damage before he's done. So on a tight map like Split here, I am very, very, very worried on whether or not Loud, they're just going to be able to, again, change their minds, adapt on the kind of flip of a dime. Because again, the last time that we saw Loud, it was done as quickly as that flip could have happened. Yeah,
it was a giant game for Timo as well, who went 22-8, and not a lot of step up coming through from anybody on the Loud side of things. So this has to be a big showing for them. And you talked about it, attacking side for Loud definitely looking pretty weak, but yeah, they didn't get much done on the defense either. Pistol and bonus is nice, but the rest is split so heavily in 100 Thieves, and you know, starting to look back at this one, it might have been something that Loud, if they could afford to have also banned this map. If it was a BO3, I think this would have been a map that would have been out of the pool for them, but unfortunately they do have to play through.
Yeah, and does look like here, Loud, they are stepping up, thinking about some different choices. There you go. There you go. Vice coming in. So again, this is just very interesting. So Loud, they're starting off on the defense, and one of just the big things about that split map to me was just the attack, was the fact that they just could not get comfortable on the attack side. They're starting off on defense here, and they're going Vice Viper. They're going all out defense. They're taking away one of their duelists for this too.
Yeah, I mean, this might be what it requires. You need to start changing something up. It was a really rough-looking previous split. You're already starting to see, based on what the teams have played formally, and particularly looking over towards Loud, this BO5 now shown a couple of new looks. And as a team that has certainly got the less pressure on them, maybe throwing a curveball is exactly what is required here up against 100 Thieves, who have looked so damn good on this map compared to what Loud have shown.
Yeah, so just comparing this to some of their comps before. So they have played this comp. They ended up playing this comp against Cloud9, and their defense, it was poor. It was poor, simple as that. Only ended up winning 2 or 3 rounds on that defensive side. Everyone still ended up stepping up. Everyone still had opportunities to frag. You had even stats throughout the entirety of the defensive half. It's really just Verdi, which, surprisingly speaking, again, you're on the Neon. You kind of just are able to do whatever. You only had 4 kills on the defensive half. But overall, even though Loud only ended up winning 3 rounds on that defensive half, it still looks like they still ended up putting up a good fight there against Cloud9. So Loud not letting go of this composition, even though they ended up changing things going into VCT playoffs. So they're going back to not all reliable, but just seeing if an old trick up their sleeve might be able to work out.
Starting on the defensive side as well. And I mean, this is the comp which you would say, like, you know, you need to see a lot out of this defense. Bring the Vice into play alongside the Viper. It's going to be Luxio holding mid, as you'd expect from that Viper. Wanting to see what Us going to bring onto the table with the stage a little bit later on as well. 100 Thieves. Slow movement up onto A. Then covering both sides of the map. Verdi taking a little bit of damage early.
Oh, and it's split attention throughout the map here for the attackers. Are you kidding me? Two players plugging through A, or plugging through B, excuse me, and 100 Thieves. They're going to win this interaction. Oh, no, they're not. Almost winning out the interaction over towards A. But hold on a second there. Verdi still wins out the spike. Over towards B. One of their teammates goes down, but it's just one. The other teammate lays in mid, trying to see if anybody's going to rotate onto him. But Verdi, this position is going to be so important here. Potentially could have an off angle here on some of the players coming in from spawn. Could be able to just make things a little bit more possible here for his teammate. But his teammate's struggling to come up. His teammate might be running into these opponents right on time. And it's a disaster. 100 Thieves take away the one player on Loud with HP. And now it's all on Verdi. Verdi has to be a hero. This has to end up on the highlight reel if Loud wants to win the round. Nade coming in.
30 seconds left.
Nowhere near Verdi. He's looking for a first headshot. He's looking for a first opportunity. 25 seconds left. There is technically enough time for these attackers to go all the way over to the other side of the map. And Verdi kind of knows it. He's going to be stepping up. He's going to be running back all the way over towards spawn. Yeah, this is it. Good stuff. Great decision there from the attackers. They're going to safely get this spike down.
10 seconds left.
Just enough time to get... And you have to double on that. Verdi and Luxio, unfortunately, not going to play off each other. Now, very, very... decisive 1v2, but he's got the shots in! Coverage, though, on that back-end. Timo will be able to trade. But we nearly had a giant hero moment. I think a little bit more HP for Verdi. Could have been good. But I think the 2v2 as well. It's just 100 Thieves able to play together, completely unspotted. The two players walking through B into spawn, finding the 2v1. In fact, I didn't even really need the 2v1. Just spotting Luxio so much earlier. Verdi, no ability for him to trade Luxio's death. That was probably the decisive part of that round.
100%. Verdi was already so low on HP too. He took on that first bit of interaction. Definitely a little bit hasty to say the least. And Verdi now, quite the opposite. He steps in immediately, showing a couple pixels. Taking away a body.
Oh, big flash.
There goes a big flash. And oh, instead, wow, they peek right into the flash. It ends up working out for them. They're up a man.
Strong punish here as well. I think of Cryo solo exploring into male. The slowdown has caused a giant rotation. Loud have given up sight. This is exactly what 100T are looking for, Cryo. Free death hamming. He'll make some noise, drop a ghost, doesn't really matter. Is what he's really looking for, and he'll do some damage just barely before he drops down. Sight should be open once 100 Thieves realize they can just walk through.
So just silver linings here. Full HP. Should be good on util here. Awesome. Does have a heal. There's nothing else that the Sage can really do. But the plan, Latino should have a nade back. And this is best case scenario.
Yep.
Full open space. No trade onto him. No individual frag, but no way, Timo. Tim just looking the complete opposite way. And now it's a 1-on-4. Asuna needs to do it again. Head on a swivel, swinging around, able to get one, but not a second. He got so much damage, but simply not enough.
Yeah, the timing from Erde disgusting there. And a low HP as well. Look at those HP bars. Erde came into this retake with like 10 HP. The Giant Thrifty went darker as well, no HP. But there was the opportunity. You had some weaponry on Asuna. Just need to be able to find that shot onto the Vice of Loud. But too many members surrounded them. No trade opportunity. I mean, this early opening already is pretty good for the defense in terms of, okay, you'll push through smoke, you push through the wall. If you die there with a one-to-one trade, given that you're behind a weaponry, that's positive.
And now we see 100 Thieves on the back foot in terms of util, in terms of the firepower. Let's see how they step up, because again, I didn't really have too many questions about 100 Thieves' attack side, but that's really because you didn't get to see much of a showcase of it. It was only really 5 or 6 rounds of an attack side for 100 Thieves against this Loud roster.
Going up.
Picking up the pieces, though. This is a long-winded battle for them. They're going to start it off by picking up an ult over towards main, planting cryo.
That's going to give Teemo one off the showstopper. Good opportunity to maybe turn things around in terms of a lack of weaponry here, but plain inside smoke. Could run away, but just can't quite find the time. Self-heal, not going to be enough. Darker paranoia, doesn't matter. Soul will find that kill.
Toxin screen down.
They know about the presence here in elevator.
Oh my
now they
God.
step out. Cryo. Making Darker into a crier, that's for sure. Kawan Zine stepping up to the plate, needs to pick up the pieces. Only picks up one. Still a big opportunity here for Loud. Loud down to a 2-on-3. Now make it a 2-on-2. Verdi with a big one, and that's allowing time for his teammate to come on up. Coming up from behind. Verdi might be allowing perfect space for his teammate to come up. Perfect timing for him. He's taking way too much time. Not making any noise on the step up here as the Omen. Because now we have a 2-on-2.
Yeah, and this could be another Thrifty just going the other way, right? Because 100 Thieves now finding some extremely sharp shots on these pistols. A couple of upgrades in there as well. Knowing that this is going to have to be a retake with, again, Erde on no HP. Exactly where he was in terms of HP bar last time around, but just so much more difficult.
Oh. Love that little Bogdan's Law. Stepping up to the plate now, you just need the one shot onto somebody like Bang. Bang down to 65 HP, takes on one, but Vora is there for the kill. And ladies and gentlemen, 100 Thieves. Never in a deficit, still on top.
Yeah, get thriftied, and then thrifty the opponents right back round after round. I mean, that was an incredible one. Just the pistol shots so sharp. Just that first one from Cry was incredible on to Darker. A couple of missed shots there from Verdi, unfortunately, on the Outlaw. And too low HP for that retake. Erde with no insane timing this time around in that 2v2 to really deliver anything.
Verdi was trying for it. Now, weird interaction there. Double TPs coming in, and Teemo, no way! Blows himself up. And now we're back to a 4-on-3. This was meant to be perfect for Tim.
Oh man, that you hate to see that. You really hate to see that one. Oh, he's lucky we didn't catch it on the POV. Honestly, getting on the kill feed's one thing. Getting on the POV would have been that would have been clip worthy for sure.
Poor guy. But all good. For the rest of this round, it seems 100 Thieves. They have a red carpet into A. They have no idea. They might pull out a little bit of a piece of util here from the sky. But no, nothing expended. Vora stepping in dry into sight. The rest of the defenders now on the other side of the map.
Couple of pieces of equipment on that Loud defense, though, to work with. Note that Verdi didn't even come into the round with anything, just overdrive. Might be looking for a setup in terms of trapping them in screens. Look at this double setup. Also needs to be careful, though. Needs to be aware of this one. Oh, he's actually the first one dead. Vora has to do a lot of work now. Vora!
Toxin screen down.
This has to be insurmountable. Cryo, 1-on-3. He does have a Molly. There goes the first frag. Molly's coming out. Cryo dancing now. 3 opportunities for a frag. He needs 2 more. It doesn't happen, though. Kawan Zine. Great little pick onto the pixel, but hold on now. Defuse going in, and we're good to go. No way! I thought it was in! No, sir! 0.01 on the clock! And Loud, try as they may, still can't crack through 100 Thieves!
Screenshot that. 0.01? Are you serious? Have we had a spike like that before? That is disgusting. Actually, 0.01 on the timer? I personally have not seen that before. That is ridiculous. I kind of feel like, robbed a little bit. If you're Loud, you got to be like, come on, dude. Seriously, you got to lose by that margin?
You feel robbed. Man, it had to be 0.01 for the game to prove me wrong.
I mean,
man, my bad.
Wow.
Oh, my bad. It's real unprofessional of me. That's for sure. Back at it again. Yet another round where 100 Thieves have a lot of wind in their sails. Erde in the front lines able to take away another one. This is actually a man advantage immediately here for Loud. 3 players on the front side of B main, and it works out perfectly for them for now. 100 Thieves, they had no real response off of that. They had no response ready for that.
Here comes Arsena. For a player back. Yeah, safety wall just in case. Don't want that player spammed out. Crow back into action. Look at the big walk down though in mid. 3 members from Loud. Should be
Vora.
completely unspotted here.
But Vora gets him and spots out the rest of this rotation in. The attackers, they don't respond immediately. They're still looking for more. And Erde and Darker. They get taken away by the off angle of Cryo. Cryo, great angle. And now it's Kawanzine 1v4, fully revealed by the dog. What the dog doing? 4-1, ladies and gentlemen. 100 Thieves, again, they continue to stomp, but these last 2 rounds, the 2 rounds before this last one, very different look. Very, very different look. 100 Thieves, they needed luck. They needed a little bit of fight, to say the least. This one, 100 Thieves, they had it all on a silver platter.
Yeah, the Vora kill really, really allowed the ability for Cryo to set up that angle and back from the death and back with the vengeance as well. Cryo on top currently, courtesy of the res from Arsena. 3 ultimates going to the next round. Economy looking amazing. That 0.01 defuse failure into explosion is, again, still just in the back of my mind. I'm sure to some degree in the back of Loud's mind is looking through the timeout. They have to move forward at a round deficit that really should be a 2-3 instead of a 1-4, and scrambling to make this defense work is a map that, again, probably would have wanted to be avoided by Loud given how rough this was in the previous showing, how comfortable 100 Thieves are on split. 100 Thieves looking for an early match point. 2-0 lead in the series of a best of 5 if Loud can't quite get it together.
Definitely don't blame you for thinking that way, too. Seeing split 3 different times, 3 different compositions, 3 different looks. Just seems like at this point, this team is just throwing split at the wall and just hoping that it works. But of course, this is a best of 5. You're forced to play maps that you're just not comfortable with. Loud still putting up a bit of a fight. It looks like they were putting up a bit of a fight, but this is really where things start to converge, where things start to kind of fall apart if it's a loss. 5-1. Economy still in the dirt. And there goes a quick response, to say the least. Not much of a buy this round either, so it's not really down to this one. It's going to come down to the 5-1. If it's 5-1, though. Huge early kill going in for Loud.
And a post up as well, allowing Birdie to walk up forward. Okay, team up, that's fine. Getting a little bit of interesting moments with his own utility. Again, sort of self-killing the showstopper a little bit earlier on. Seeming like the only downside of 400 Thieves so far in what was otherwise a pretty flawless looking offense. Open map here. Mail's been claimed. Lack of information, really, when you look at where Loud are. The entirety of the middle's gone.
Prowlers coming in, early trying to take out 2 of them. It's just going to be a quick pivot back over towards A, but this might be the jaws of the beast. Loud has plenty of presence here, 3 players here, but do they have the firepower necessary? Can they tap some heads? Here we go. Asuna looking for the extremity, able to find 1, and Asuna is basically able to find all of them. Cryo with a cleanup at the end, but Asuna with 2. Asuna looking for a little bit more too, has a player right on his wall, able to sweep up 1 from it. Asuna is farming. 5-1 possibly. Verdi can be a hero. He has no armor to work with for the rest of this round. Has no idea where any of these players are. No utility whatsoever for him. Verdi, I wish you the best of luck, my friend. Here we go. Rifle out. Right to his right. Able to pick down 1. But it's clamped down by Asuna. 4 kills from Asuna. 5-1.
Yeah, massive cleanup there. And, well, Verdi can't feel too bad about that one because pretty tough situation. Wasn't even his gun anyway. This will be the actual buy now. I mean, that opening kill so clean. Just a slide on through. Just a neon moment classic. Decent shot from Darker, at least on A. Do a bit of economical damage, but 100 Thieves are so comfortably ahead in rounds at the moment that we're just looking for some sort of a comeback on this first half for Loud to post up some scoreline. Operator on hand for Verdi, by the way.
Pick coming out.
Shown.
And now, 100 Thieves able to take that advantage. Loud, it's difficult to see how they're still going to be able to hold down this site. Vice backing out, but that's the thing. Vice is so disconnected here, but still going to be able to put down a steel garden. Verdi stepping up, picking down 1, needs a second, and does get it. There comes some help. There goes the swing, but Asuna with the shotgun holds down his angle. and keeps this round going for 100 Thieves. This would have been a 4-on-1, but instead 3-on-2. Huge missed shot from Verdi. This round keeps going.
A lot of ultimates being dumped in this one as well. Nightfall, the latest one to follow through, and Verdi, extreme low HP, but he's happy he's still alive at least. Arsena might be looking like he'll find contact here for now. 45 seconds remaining. There's still plenty to play through. Most of these angles have been covered. The only thing that isn't covered is if 100 Thieves decide to back all the way through their own spawn again.
Toxins
Currently
going
just
out.
dropping
so
quiet.
difficult.
They want Loud to rotate.
30
Toxin
seconds
screen
left.
But they take the orb now. Surely somebody heard
He's going
that.
for res.
Elevator heard that. Somebody on site would have heard it. Orb is there. Revive. Nobody peeks into the revive. 3-on-3 now. Back to even strength. Cryo watching out. He doesn't have an angle on stairwell. And Erde's able to pick him down immediately. Verdi with a big kill. Finally, Verdi. Finally. A couple whiff shots here and there. But he's finally able to close things out. Erde, alongside the rest of Loud, able to finally pick up another round. 5-2.
Yeah, Loud dropping everything in that round, throwing everything in the kitchen sink, multiple ultimates. Verdi getting out, luckily with his own life, and then able to re-peek as well. Steel Garden really setting these type of moments up. And you'll remember, Arsenal still got a shotgun kill in the middle of all of this, but
Toxins
the extra res in play,
Standing.
causing a little bit of opportunity still for 100 Thieves to maybe clutch that one through. They were down 2-3, back to fair numbers, but I think time definitely working against them. No time to plant, even if they start doing that.
Oh no, Verdi. Caught off angle. Almost caught down. Down to 12 HP. He's still going to have the operator for the cross, but Tino, out of nowhere in the mid side. A player going down for Loud, and now Loud left a little bit wary. I mean, this was the Viper's Pit. If the man stays alive over in bottom mid, God knows the Viper's Pit goes up. God knows what happens for the rest of this round. Loud, I mean, this is realistically, again, the round that they need to get back into form. 100 Thieves, they're up against the ropes when it comes to economy.
Verdi's also on the wrong side of the map now, and this guy's, he's like a cat with 9 lives, always down to a slither, but not quite taken down early enough. A little slow going here for 100 Thieves to make their way onto A. You still have a bit of a lurk from Bang.
Darker needs to go huge.
It's Verdi. Oh,
There goes Erde.
Down mid.
2 kills coming back for Loud, and now they just have Spike. This is starting to look cut and dry for them. But Tino. There you go. Good job. Oh my goodness, off the satchel, and Bang
30
coming up from
seconds
behind. Beautiful wrap from the
enemy
attackers,
remaining.
keeping the presence back over towards mid. And not only that, but Cryo picking away at the extremities once again. Yet another kill onto Loud. 100 Thieves from out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Turning around this situation that was clearly against them. Bang comes up from behind and sweeps it all back.
what a time for Bang to activate as well, just in time to collect that kill through ropes. Timo putting some damage onto him. Now it's just a solo player left. Darker, such a tough situation to be in. Cryo
Wow.
off of the operator, picked up from Verdi. Will take that kill, and 6 already found here. Once again, you have Loud making their way back with a pretty decent round just before this, and instantly this one starts to slip away from them. Verdi on low HP early. You talk about the fact that you brought this up straight away, but losing the capability to Viper's Pit in mid definitely swings this round in favor of 100 Thieves pretty massively. Now look at the
And
buy
half in
situation. It's
general.
rough.
Yeah, I mean, this, very simply put, Loud has been very fragile on economy these last couple of rounds. Fragile in terms of the overall half in general for these last 2 rounds. They needed to act. And now, unfortunately, their time is up. They needed that. They needed that type of round where the win was just made easy. Shut down mid, shut down that Viper's Pit. Ultimately, it was mid that lost them the round anyways.
Yeah. Well, Pit's there,
Hurts now
but
for Loud, to say the least.
Luxure's not in position just yet. They've lost mid control entirely. Long rotators. Look at this, giving up on A. They had no idea that Bang had already TP'd to the other side.
This is a full 4 rotation.
Everyone's moving over towards B.
Could be the
Really?
right call, though.
It's up to Verdi first. Contact here. He is going to spot a shoulder and get a kill as well.
Sharp as always. Gonna continue to dance. Verdi not able to get a second burst on, but he still has plenty of options right behind him. But look at the Utsil coming out. Sage Wall is there. Just for a bit of elevation at this point, and of course to add on to this cover. Covering up the site now. Still no way to
30
plant
seconds.
just
Look Show.
yet here for these 100T players. And look, Show, he tries to make a bounce in, but it just does not work out. Vora takes him away. Down to the 2-on-4. It's just Pistols trying to dance in. Darker looking for a headshot. Does not happen. Right next to him. Same thing. Just trying to catch a Pixel. Kawanzine
Last
looking to
player
bait a Pixel
standing.
into peeking into him. He does take
Okay.
away one with just a stinger. Hold on. Darker needs to do it all, but it's not going to happen. 7-2.
Yeah, just too many players live 100 Thieves, and really look, Show, that was the player that you put all the hope in for the remainder of that round. If you can find that flank, uncontested, get an opening kill, suddenly that looks somewhat retakeable. Maybe a thrifty win. That would be exactly what I was looking for. But early phases of this, with Uri dying that early, you're already down numbers. At least rotations were good for Loud. And now the very important round where they finally have guns back, ultimates in play, still not really having a lot of armor here. This feels like a must-win round almost.
Viper's Pit plus the Vice Wall too to detect if anybody goes through. But finally, there goes your Viper's Pit just to shut down the mid option. But you say that, but they still maintain the presence in the mid side just to see if anybody walks through. Nobody from 100 Thieves tempting it just yet. This makes this technically easier for the other players from Loud to try to manage their choke points, to try to manage their sights. But what is Verdi doing? Oh my goodness, I understand the idea there from Loud, but Verdi goes into a Shark's Pit.
Ah, he just dove straight on in. Followed the Prowler through. Maybe he thought it was only one player, but bit off a lot more than he could shoot. Zvora makes a little bit more noise around B to give his team the opportunity now to slip by on A, uncontested. Just a single line being held by Kawanzine. And he's going to need something good here. One shot, ideally. Doesn't find anything but gets all the info.
No charges.
Kawanzine not going to be able to do anything off of this. He does have a teammate over in heaven,
30
but
seconds
everyone's
left.
hiding away now. From the Showstopper. Showstopper comes in, no damage. But this is everything here for 100 Thieves. They're a
Okay.
man up. Still up on site. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That is so annoying. So annoying there if you look, Show. Definitely a bit of a death slammer, but there goes yet another player down for Loud. Erde stepping into the middle of the cloud. And Austin is able to find him on the edge. Two more players remaining here for Loud, trying to step into this cloud. Nobody can even get an inch in. Darker. No, yeah, he had a chance. He had a chance for sure. 8-2 though.
Yeah, five-man plant. Hit down. Basically impossible. Looking over from Loud's POV. And again, Verdi really gambled at the start of this round, following the Prowler through, wanted to chase down a play in sewers. And look, if that works for a singular kill, if it was just one player, I certainly see the vision there in terms of the decision making for Loud, but
Yeah,
didn't
absolutely.
expect
You see
he
the idea.
he does not expect there to be a lot more players than that, and suddenly you're down one very quickly. You're down your overdrive as well. And in a round that felt really important again for not just the momentum of this map so far, but the investment, Viper's Pit early, which is what they wanted. Lookshow has been trying to make that play happen for a couple of rounds now, and the one round you get it down. 100 Thieves say, okay, we'll give up mid. That's fine. We'll play through the sides of the map, draw some attention away via Vora on B, and then suddenly 100 Thieves just get A basically for free with no opening kill from Karzine, sadly.
I mean, yeah, at that point, like I said before, the job was technically made easier. It was just black and white. Your job is now down to, instead of watching 3 or 4 choke points, it's down to just 1 or 2. And again, Loud just still wasn't able to manage that. They step a little bit too far in. Verdi again steps into the jaws of the beast. Already dwindles and already kind of shakes up the players for Loud on the A site. They take a back step. Wow, a little bit too much space for 100 Thieves, and down we go again. And it sucks too. We have that Viper's Pit finally in the third to last round, but we have only 2 rounds left in this half. No way that Viper's Pit is coming back. A single use ultimate for what is one of the most strong, one of the most powerful ultimates in this game.
Looks like as well. Look at that flash doesn't actually go through, but it doesn't matter. Like all right.
Yeah.
But didn't even get flash, but still managed to find a kill. Looks like he's going to be able to trade one back in a resin play to get Vora in action 5 versus 3. And I was going to say, with only 2 rounds left to play through for Loud, these feel really important where you want to at least
One
recover
enemy
4
remaining.
to 8 if possible. That just doesn't seem like it will happen unless Luxor has the most amazing 1v2. Now, problem is he's got 8 HP.
Whoa, he can do something here. If he can get onto A, definitely get that off angle, could definitely get that off timing, but hold on. He's thinking about the right options here. He hears noise over towards the mid side. He's trying to not make noise on his own.
He needs timing.
Here.
He really needs timing.
The headshot here under Cryo. Cryo's there, and he almost got it. Almost got it. 9-2 though.
Yeah. Heads up by Cryo
Last
to
round
check the
in the
angle as
half.
well. My good news is, in the final round, 3 ultimates on board for Loud. Lack of money is the biggest problem here, as they've been just poor the entire way through. This needed to be a kill for Erde. The fact that he didn't even get flashed, I mean, he's got to get something there.
And Verdi was right behind him too. You had 2 players there. Ready. Posted. Perched. To really take away the whole round before the round even really started. But here we go again. Last round of the half. See if Loud can avoid double digits before going into the second half. Timotino stepping up with the outlaw. He has 5,000 credits.
Honestly, the lack of armor on Loud, and the correct type of weapon. Oh, that could have been a shot. That could have been first blood right there. I think Electro's happy, or rather lucky, a sigh of relief that he didn't just get one shot there.
Definitely a troll to have that outlaw coming up right now too. But there we go again. Gaiwan actually picking up an initial frag. A couple opportunities here potentially for Luxo. Just smoke into space, but not able to pick up a pixel just yet in a battle against Vora. As now it's a battle for A.
I mean, all the info there. All 3 Seekers moving over towards B. Already your rotations coming on in. Like low from Bang. Arsenal finds the first shot. Kalzine gone. And now popping as many ultimates as they can. It's going to be Loud. Darker getting a couple more. That's what you need if you're coming through from Loud.
30
Trying to recover this half to even get a 3rd round in. Less than 30 seconds left to play through the Vora with a long walk. It's going to be Bang setting things up over towards B. He's already cleaned out the site, but it is 2 versus 4. Good news is at least low HP on Darker.
Last player standing.
No
Spike down
way!
mid.
Now there's no
He
time.
takes way too much time, and
10
from
seconds
elevator,
left.
there goes Luxo. It's Bang now, 1v4, not gonna happen. So there you go, Avril. Loud putting up a fight. It was Darker.
Switching sides.
I could have gone poorly, but Loud at least getting one back. Right, start to feel a little bit better. Maybe 9-3 curses in Loud's favor. At this point, they need all the cope they can get because the scoreline difference was looking pretty bad and looking slightly less worse now. We'll have to see how our second half goes, though, after this one, Gus. First half, though, basically all 100 Thieves.
Yeah, basically all 100 Thieves for now. But ladies and gentlemen, again, second half splits. We ended up seeing Loud actually put up a fight on the attack side versus 100 Thieves. A semblance of a fight. AK, they had 0 rounds on defense versus 100 Thieves versus 4 on attack. So technically a little bit more something to look forward to in the second half. Ladies and gentlemen, again, this is a full BO5. We're only in map 2, so plenty of Valorant to go. We'll be right back after the break.
Spike down. One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Just a quick breather, ladies and gentlemen. Real quick. Catch your breath. We're back at it once again. Couple seconds into the round already. And this is a big pinch over in mid. The defensive side of 100 Thieves clamping down onto Loud once again. 100 Thieves 9-3 going into the second half of this second map, ladies and gentlemen. No, this is not a best of 3. This is a best of 5 here to decide who makes it to Paris in the Esports World Cup.
Yeah, no time wasted. Straight into the round. Utility traded, but no damage done so far. Until now. Looks like first blood on the second half on Tavora. A slightly more open now. Slow rotators, but can Timo be the one to find his timing? No, it's actually got to be Erde.
Perfect.
Spike
Perfect
planted.
timing from Erde. Erde, there specifically for that option, specifically if anybody wanted to be cheeky and go up into ramp, takes him down, and now this is an even weirder looking setup here from Loud. Now they have 2 people watching over ramp from different angles. I'm not going to expect Erde so close. Erde not going to be able to get a kill in here. Asuna dancing around. Well, shrouded up right now. This is still looking pretty good here for Asuna, just considering the HP. He has 2 players very low on HP right behind the smoke. It's going to be a 2-on-2, and never mind. 4-on-1. And Asuna not going to have a chance now. This is going to be a round for Loud.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the screen skill, maybe an opportunity there. Some low HP, like you sort of mentioned, on Loud, but kills massively going the way into Loud. Huge from Erde as well to get that timing onto Timo. Otherwise, Timo would have probably had a player. But, you know, talked about the fact that Loud, at least in the last showing on Split against 100 Thieves, which is the last time both of these teams did play this map, pistol bonus did go the way of Loud. They'll need that, and really I emphasize that they need that given the round disparity. So I'm going to bring this one back within a 6-9. That starts to feel a lot better for Loud's opportunity.
Gotta go.
Yeah, this attack side was weird, to say the least, here from Loud the last time we ended up seeing them. Let's see what happens this time, ladies and gentlemen. Verdi. This time on the front side, nobody here on the B site. So this is not going to be sort of that showcase for us. At least we get to see sort of how well drilled Loud are right now, covering up the entire site, making sure that there's no options whatsoever on site, no pixels whatsoever from the opposite team.
Should be perfect setup here, as I mean, looking at 100 Thieves try their best to explode onto site and do as much damage as they can. Still have late activation from, looks like all the way in sewers by the looks of it. Looking for any potential stragglers moving through mid, but it's going to be a big stack up from 100 Thieves, and I don't know if they're going to go for this late or just play for some type of exit.
Not playing for it at all. Very interesting.
I just died to Spike at this point.
Yeah, go to exit. Yeah, die to Spike. Yeah, nobody dying there, so either, so he doesn't get anything. Alright, good work. Back at it again, though. We're going to see guns with 100 Thieves.
A little inconsequential round there, nice and quick one. And we'll see what type of guns we do have on, as we'll get a scoreboard in a moment here, folks.
Look at Verdi here. 15 kills already. And what was supposed to be kind of a lackluster first half, Verdi putting on a bit of a showcase. Let's see if he can somehow continue here. Verdi on the front sides with the Phantom. Has a bit of an opportunity, and Luke Shaw ends up getting taken down by Vora. Vora continuing to dance. And this is what I was saying before. 100 Thieves. I was saying this in the pre-show, but when it comes to these super tight maps, when it comes to maps like Split, Loud, they struggle to get past these choke points if they can't get past it in the first try.
Yeah,
however, we're finally seeing something very different. We're seeing presence over towards A. We're seeing an immediate readjustment back over towards mid. Loud, it does look like they're taking some lessons here from their split game.
The immediate high-low setup on B. Scary to walk into. And you still end up losing your lurk as well. Bit of problematic gameplay on that A side. This will be mid through to A, potentially. Swapping sides here is a little bit of noise being made by Erde. Draw attention. About to walk up into a bit of a setup between Asuna and Cryo. Time for Cryo is going to be quite to be immaculate here. And he finds a couple good plays. One was paranoid, but too close range there. Arsenal looking for a secondary. He's just going to get the cleanup and set onto Arsenal. Now the opportunity to plant suddenly on board. Only one on site here for now. Bang has work to do. Gets the one. It's going to be Verdi with the heroism. And I think this is a somewhat doable 1v2, but has to plant now.
That's got to be it. Nade landing in. Does Verdi even have enough time to get in? Nobody has an angle. Satchel coming in. Verdi's going to try to take both of them down, but Vora's not peeking.
Man,
Verdi with a 4K on the round. Oh my goodness. Gone to the wind.
4K to not win the round with a lot of extra util still available for Timo, obviously with him playing on the opposite side of the map. Preventing the plant. Time being the issue here. The Verdi had such a massive couple of kills here to allow his team the opportunity. Bang showing up for that one kill though, definitely setting things up. If there was an extra player alive for Loud, could have been a different story. Now we extend the gap back again. Double digits found now, 100 Thieves.
So let's see where the util options kind of are here, because again, it was this exact A site Loud just could not convert. Same, or this B side, excuse me. Same thing over towards A. It's realistically this entire map that Loud struggled. But as they approach B immediately, and they get stopped, they approach mid once again. It just seems mid-heavy. Anytime any of these first options don't work out, they have to go back up towards mid, which again is pretty standard, but just isn't something that Loud ended up doing the last time that they played here on Split. Timo still expecting some sort of rotation in.
Verdi still posted here as well. It's going to be up to Timo, like you sort of mentioned, and yeah, I mean, Loud is just going to be up to clean that one up. Check the player, not going to fall prey to the judge. Verdi found by Arsenal as well. I believe he was actually caught by the flash of Vora for information. Still going to be activating on site though. Fine, okay. Judge is still going to be good.
All the way out in the open, not able to find Cryo immediately. But this is good. Finally for a plant. Finally for a safe plant. Here for Loud. He's going to be perched up on the balcony, but this player over in heaven, he's going to have to do everything. Darker out in the open. Almost caught out, but finally caught out by Vora. Things start to get a little bit more complicated. The man over towards balcony, again, super low on HP, but this is the right position for him to be in. Erde, he can dance. He can conserve his body a little bit. Kawanzin, same thing with him, but just waiting for that first step into sight. Kawanzin trying to tuck his tail as long as he can before he strikes down onto these players coming into sight. Bang! Slips through, but Kawanzin catches him. One more. Vora fighting through! And Vora gets the frag. Can Vora pick up the defuse? It doesn't look likely. Ladies and gentlemen, Vora gets it still! Less than a second left, and Vora has the defuse, and 100 Thieves still close to glory again, still close to perfection.
Yeah, 100 Thieves getting at both sides, right? They win with the 0.01 explosion on the spike with Loud failing to get the defuse, and this time around 0.89 will just be enough time, and judges finding their mark here. The first one doesn't quite go their way, but Cryo slowing things down. Vora with the nice double at the end to be able to finish off that round, extending this lead further, 11-5, and Loud look all but out of this map, and will be a 2-0 lead in this BO5 as well in favor of 100 Thieves. If Loud can't get it together, and it's just not looking like they are.
Oh, Timo, did he get spotted potentially by the radar? Not even Prowler spots him. Are you kidding me? A free double for Timo. Tim does it again. In Loud, they're just left scratching their heads. They thought they had it all figured out. They had a player clear into sight. But Tim, again, shuts it all down. 2 players remaining here for Loud. And surely their chances are dwindling here. Darker still picking up another frag. Still very low on HP. 15 HP remaining here on Darker. Oh, coming up 100 Thieves.
I mean, lack of spike. Can't rotate here. Healing back with res available is awesome. This is insult to injury.
It has to be a miracle.
Bang's already got the angle. Should be a freebie
One
here.
enemy remaining.
There it is. Quick flick.
Wow.
Body shot's all you need when no HP's available. And like I said, res available. We're just going to res back into 5 for economy. Less than 20 seconds remaining. Full rotate from both sides. The look show passage of speed there, but there's still utility on board. Or bang, and now it's just looking like an offensive save.
10 seconds left.
It's going to be a successful save.
Hurts to watch, though, unfortunately.
Sure does.
This is what it's going to come down to. Obviously, if it wasn't hard enough with the 1v4, Asuna says, ain't no way. We're going to make it 5. 12 rounds now. 400 Thieves. Loud is just so deep in the deficit. I mean, I don't know what would be greater than a miracle, but that seems like what they'll require. Look at this, again, this judge setup. Timo through the smoke, getting the double, doesn't get spotted by the Prowler, as you mentioned. That completely shut down the round.
It seemed like Loud was going to get that piece of information, though. Just, again, just off the radar, off the Prowler. The fact that nothing ended up catching him, again, just a little bit of luck. But Loud's not going to see it that way. They're going to see it as a failure. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board after this map. Somehow try to pick up their players mentally here. Because again, we just haven't seen BO5s for these teams whatsoever, for these players. And uniquely, again, their young leader, Erode, has gone through multiple BO5s this last year. If there's ever a team at this lower level here that would be prepared for a moment like this, it would be Loud here. But ladies and gentlemen, this is all coming down to an end. A sweep of kills here for Cryo. Double coming up from Cryo. 2 players remaining here on the attack side. This one has to be over, ladies and gentlemen. Spike in the top of mid. But again, this is a full best of 5, ladies and gentlemen. This is only map number 2. Avril, you excited or what?
I am excited for 100 Thieves at the moment. Less so for Loud. I think I would have liked to have seen a bit more given how good Loud were versus NRG. But
30
now 100
seconds
Thieves
left.
are thinking, happy to... I was going to say this is what NRG lost to, but maybe happy to face a Loud that looks a little bit less than what 100 Thieves thought they were going to go up against. Just 2 players now with lack of time remaining. This is just time, I think, for Loud to start already considering what they're going to end up doing for the next map, because 13-5 is, I believe, marginally better than what we saw on this exact same map not that long ago. It's an improvement from 13-4, Gus, I'll give you that, but Loud is still just really not getting anything done on Split.
Yeah, not getting anything done on Split, and this was just the remarkable map for me that was just like, hey, this kind of shouts out the problems that Loud have right now. This is a team that they have the players with the strengths that they think they need at this point, where they have players who are able to frag, players who are considered some of the best in their roles, such as Luke Show, such as Kawanzine, such as Verdi, such as Darker, and even Erde coming in as a leader in himself. But again, there's just still so much development that needs to be done with this team. There's still so much trust that needs to be put in or needs to be instilled into this team to change as much as they need to in moments like they had in this game. Because again, 100 Thieves, they showed basically the same look round after round after round, the same setups round after round again. Didn't see any different places there from Asuna. Didn't see too many different positions there from Cryo on the defensive side. Just, yeah, overall, you weren't going to see anything too crazy from Loud without those early round interactions really going in their favor. Because without that, again, it's that adaptation, it's that mind change that we just haven't seen yet from this team. Quick enough, right?
Yeah, as we take a look at the map score here, obviously it is now match point with 100 Thieves taking out both of our early maps. I think the silver lining here is we do go back to another Loud map choice on Pearl, but a reverse sweep now required to get them through the series and into a straight qualification for EWC. Of course, if they lose, they go into lower bracket. Still an opportunity, but potentially quite a rough rundown there given the quality of teams still remaining in the lower bracket. But for 100 Thieves, might just be looking like MIBR yesterday, getting a clean 3-0 in a BO5 sweep to lock their position in for EWC this year. Even on that split, though, I mean, we saw a couple of reasonable moments. I think the early Thrifty on round 2 that they couldn't then convert to a win on that third round hurt Loud a little bit. Talk about the 0.01 lack of defuse. That was just dirty. You do feel a little bit bad for Loud for that type of moment. And these types of rounds getting away from you do add up. You know, you just don't have the money, you don't have the momentum, your economy is never quite settled, and they'll need Pearl to definitely be their map. They already lost their first map choice on Haven. They get another map choice on Pearl. I mean, this has got to be a good one for Loud. You have to hope.
All right, I'm gonna give 3 reasons for my L fans there, for my Loud fans out there to hold this L, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give you 3 reasons as to why these next 3 maps are going to be possible here for Loud. All right, this next map, Pearl. They haven't played with this new roster yet. All right, boom, that's one reason, right? And then Breeze, they're 5-1 on Breeze this season, right? 5-1, 90% win rate, ladies and gentlemen. You have to be hopeful for Breeze. And what about Ascent? Well, they've only played 1 Ascent, and they won. So means, well, technically that means they're perfect on Ascent. So, ladies and gentlemen, no matter what, if you look at it from a black and white perspective, Loud's got this. Loud's got this, 100%. Ladies and gentlemen, reverse sweep coming in. I can guarantee it. I'll give you my Brazilian seal of approval. Ladies and gentlemen, hold that L. Loud is going to make this comeback, ladies and gentlemen. No, listen, kidding. If 100 Thieves want to, they can shut this down here on Pearl. Ladies and gentlemen, map number 3 of Pearl is coming up right after this break. Thank you for the company, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for joining us so far. We'll see you all after the break.
Spike down. One enemy remaining. Last player standing. Last player. One enemy remaining. Spike down mid.
One enemy remaining. Defenders win.
Back at it again, folks. We have yet another map for us, and could be potentially the very last map for us tonight. 100 Thieves and Loud have been going at it, and I mean mainly 100 Thieves has been going at it because they've been showcasing everything they have for us. It's been basically perfect here for 100 Thieves as they are up 2-0. My name is Upmine. I'm joined here by Avril once again. Ladies and gentlemen, indeed, there are some ladies and gentlemen in the chat that want to see map number 3. Avril, from what we've seen so far, again, like I've said, I think you can agree with me. 100 Thieves, this is their game.
Yeah, I mean, 100 Thieves, they made EWC last year. They want to go back-to-back and qualify back into the Esports World Cup. A team that has, struggled to get into international events. It really has been a couple of years since they've, done it on the VCT circuit. But here, a 3-0 win against Loud, or any win in this BO5, immediately puts them back into good position for their team to make a strong comeback in terms of getting those international opportunities and maybe making a deep run this time. Because last year in EWC, unfortunately, they did get grouped. This time they're looking for a much better run if possible.
Yeah, it was an 0-2 also, so it just didn't feel like that was supposed to be the best look from 100 Thieves period. And I mean, going into this BO5 period, this is a feeling out period for 100 Thieves, right? Because 100 Thieves, they still have the top competition that they consider to be, their priorities in VCT that they haven't faced so far in this tournament, that they really haven't faced with, at least the form that they want, the form that they feel legitimately proud of. You've felt so much just regret and just... It was just a little depressing coming out of the 100 Thieves camp this last week. A lot of the players saying that, like, hey, it's great seeing my colleagues win titles here in North America, with a lot of the players that they've been playing with for years. But at the end of the day, it's not them winning those titles. It is not 100 Thieves holding the silverware. So players like Cryo, players like Asuna, both having interviews in this last week and a half, both clamoring, both stating, we want silverware. We want to change that.
And this would be the moment. This would be the opportunity. A clean win in the qualifiers. Looking to take it to Paris. Themselves and representing North America there. To put themselves in a strong position to potentially win. And for Loud, I mean, we talked about this team as kind of playing with house money a little bit. Already a huge upset win over NRG just a couple of days ago in that opening round of 8. Maybe expecting a little bit more against 100 Thieves in this particular BO5, where really one series, one match away from actually qualifying. Losing this one would put them into the lower bracket against some pretty tough competition down there. Levers down there, obviously. And only one spot would remain once you're in that lower bracket still. But you did also mention as well, this is a changed up Loud roster. Erde in, last time they played this map, they saw Bati, so opportunity for them to turn the tide around a little bit, threaten the reverse sweep. And this is also their map choice, so gotta see good things here.
Yeah, you want to. And the fact that we're looking at a Pearl that has not totally different agent picks, but different roles, that's for damn sure. Because Darker, before he was playing on the Astra, now going over towards the Vice. You have Erde coming into the team, now playing on the Astra. That's not that big of a difference. But Kawan Zine, not going on the Sova, which him before, he said like, hey, everyone wants to be a superstar. I prefer my Sova. He's not playing the Sova this time on this map, deciding to go over to Fade instead. So, okay, Loud, they're coming in with a totally different look going into this map. Not only a different roster, but also a completely different agent composition from the last time that they ended up playing. Again, not totally different. They still maintain... Wait, no, they don't have a double duelist. Last time they played, they didn't have the double duelist. This time they do. So, okay, you know what, Avril?
Yeah.
I'm going to let you take the steering wheel here. This is different, and I'm excited. Let's see the differences.
I think difference is what Loud needs right now, because what was played before hasn't been doing enough for them. Loud first up on the defensive side. Triple setup over towards B. Slow going for 100 Thieves at the beginning moments of this round. Just going to be Cryo contacting up into A.
Just going to be an old-fashioned Mexican duel here. He's just looking for a contact, looking for a body. That's a full Nebula. It's going to last quite a bit. That would hold off anyone there.
B.
This was a take. But this is going to be that take. Like you said, B coming in slowly but surely. No contact being taken in by the defensive side. Here comes Asuna. Asuna on the front side. It's Airday! Airday from the side! Sweeps away 4! Airday, the young blood, comes in with a little bit of that flair. 4 kills coming in from Airday. Now looking for one more onto Cryo. Cryo going into long. Airday looking for the feather in his cap. Looking to really send the momentum for Loud. Up to Max here going into this third map. There goes Cryo. Does take him away, but 3 players remaining. Surely the round's going to be in their favor. Cryo's taken away from the off angle. Ladies and gentlemen, 1-0. Loud finally has a lead.
That's what you want to see. Loud, getting quite loud in this opening round of 4K. Nearly an ace. Hits the body shot, sees the opportunity against Cryo, but more importantly, the 3-man setup there. With a lot of distraction as well. It's players looking at Verdi, looking at Luxio, but nobody seeing that Erde was ready to pop out, getting the cleanup. Possibility of a tech pause coming through. I don't know if you can see in the chat there, coming through from the 100T side of things, but already, I mean, only pistol, Gus, but I mean, you want to see some real action out loud, and even though it is just a pistol, this is already becoming a type of map and a type of opening that you feel good about full out.
Yeah, and it's just the fact that, again, we don't have much to pick out from, but it's Airday. Airday coming in. This is a little bit weird of a map, to say the least, to try to manage as a controller, because before, the Harbor used to make things very easy. It was just a 2-click agent, and you covered all of the space you need on either one of these sites. Now playing up with Astra, you do need to be a little bit more proactive. Also, being a leader while being so proactive has to be difficult. So again, just having that little bit of a moment, you know, lets his wings fly a little bit, lets him spread. But here comes, ladies and gentlemen, yet another opportunity for Airday. Airday on the front lines looking for a pick, but Darker instead cleans up on Timotino. 4 players remaining here for 100 Thieves. They're spread throughout the map. Nobody from Loud is in imminent danger. You get to wait a little bit.
Yeah, Razor's out, put that util defensively, and put a stop to Timo's opportunity to jump in that plate. If we get over towards mid, this is a bit of a walkthrough. I believe that's Bang now all the way deep into mid, almost going to spawn. I wonder if Verde is thinking about this one. He's certainly looking. I mean, he's considering the fact that they've lost full mid control.
Vision.
Things are starting to pop off a little bit over towards a first kill coming into Cryo, and now sensing that Bang is just around the corner. Bangs the slip on through, but Verde still sharp enough, still quick enough.
With 2 players remaining, both of these players are not exactly willing to give up their lives.
One enemy remaining.
Darker with a
30
ghost,
seconds left.
looking for some
Attack
head taps,
respawn. I have
or
this
catches
fight.
him. But yeah, great. Loud. Not caught out by any of these ideas from 100 Thieves. It's sort of what you expect, though. This is the guns of Loud. The pistols mainly making the noise here. Their economy continuing to grow. This is the big chance now. We finally get to see the attackers with a bit of artillery and see how Loud reacts.
By the way, this is 7 kills, I believe, for Verde within the first 2 rounds.
30 seconds left.
Of course it
Or
is.
at least 6. We'll say that much. At least 6, because we've got ult on board already. Yeah, 6 and 1.
What?
That's insane. So, you're already looking at Cosmic Divide on 3rd round. The timing of which is impeccable, given that this is 100 Thieves looking for their first gun round.
Man, Avril, I know I might feel like you're in a bit of a retirement home sometimes, but you were about to say 6 or, man, listen, it's been so long since I've been on a broadcast. I haven't pulled out that reference yet, and I'm just
Dude, I wasn't even going for that. I genuinely wasn't even doing
let
it.
me just once, man. Oh, man, here we go again. Erde is going to have to dance with a shotgun. Judge in the front lines. A lot of util in front of him. He's able to utilize that util. Able to catch 1 kill off the Nebula. But here comes the exec. 4-on-4 for the rest of the round.
See these rotations coming in from Loud again. Did have that Cosmic Divide, but sadly they're the first one to fall. Good opportunity for 100 Thieves. The first actual plant so far as well. Gonna play this one mostly off site. All 4 from Loud now. We're gonna see what they can
Totally
discover.
disconnected. It's going to be so difficult here for these Loud players to try to get a contact in. These 100 Thieves players are so disciplined, tucking their tails, and they have full line of sight. Full line of sight on the spike. Timo Tino able to take away one. Same thing with his teammate Cryo. Here comes finally the defuse coming in from Darker. Doesn't go down to half.
Nothing.
It's just so difficult. Like I said before, this was about to be an impossible little task here for Loud. And 100 Thieves, they prove that. 3 players staying alive out of 4.
Yeah, Erde had to do a lot of work there to slow things down, and everyone else from Loud coming in fairly late, but in another case as soon as they could as well, in full offsite for the post plant for 100 Thieves. So they caught inside the smoke as well, and then, you know, this setup at the end, really difficult for Loud to be able to quite navigate through. So, still opportunity though for this ultimate to come on in for Erde in the follow-up round. Still a decent start after winning pistol, and let's see if this walk up in A does anything as mid-exploration coming through for 100 Thieves as well.
Vice wall going up, Erde. Denied an opportunity at a one-on-one. Great spot there for the Vice wall from the attackers.
It does seem like Loud
They are the
how much this one up there, right?
get them.
Oh, they flash us through.
Man, it's just an absolute storm there from Luxo. Luxo just can't get anything done. Raining down bullets. Kawan's still able to pick up another frag, still tucking his tail. He doesn't have any support right behind him. It's just going to be him in a 1-on-3. He's still super low on HP. Kawanzine finally taken away. 2 players remaining here on a retake for Loud.
Yeah, not a lot there for Karazin. He's been marked up as well. Another team on retake. Nightfall taking no chances. It's going to be 100 Thieves. Want to lock this one in with a guarantee if possible.
Wow.
Good flick from Erde. That was nice and quick on Arsena. Didn't expect that
So
one
sharp.
coming through. Even though Arsena had the line first. Now the 2v2 starts to feel a little bit more possible. Erde's just a hero right now. He's going to get this one done. Turning it into 2 versus 1. Divide could be used here, by the way, as our first tap on the spike. Still a little bit of utility on board for Bang. He does have to stop thinking about peeking though, and
No way! Unbelievable how he still survives that first burst and still Bang stays alive. Defuse comes in at the end. But yeah, sure. It was a 2-on-1 there at the end, but it was all made possible by Erde. Erde, like I said before, so sharp.
look at some of these flicks coming through. You're about to see in the replay package, I'm sure, but after the initial scuffle between our 2 teams, the dust starts to settle. The Arsena kill was really insane. I mean, Arsena already had that angle, and then suddenly things get a lot more possible early to finish things out, and I'm not even needing to use ults either. We're back now on board for Look Show.
We're 4 rounds in. Making insane stuff here. Now we begin to hone in on the ultimates. It's going to be a huge ulti here with the run it back.
Timo going
They
deep.
do opt to utilize it on the retake coming in. But these attackers, they are backing out over towards mid. They do have a little bit of
Look at
control
Spawn.
there, but it's really only a little bit. It's really just down to the sound. This is going to be real weird. Like you said, Spawn's taken up.
Players really walking through him. We saw Loud do this a little bit on Haven as well. Get aggressive with a couple of their members. Just util trade for the time being. Here we go. Run it back coming through on the 100 Thieves side of things. Walking on in. Darker will shove that one down nice and quick, but under pressure. Fast rotations will be required. Timo just sliding on in. Gets traded up by Erde. Now the cavalry have arrived.
Everyone's here. All 4 players swinging in. Luke Show can't get anything else done. Luke Show does come back with a run it back. There goes yet another op shot. Down goes Spora. Still a 2-on-2. Cryo continuing to farm. 2 shots for Cryo now on the tour de force. Now 1-on-2. It's all on Luke Show. Luke Show already showed his face once with the run it back. And Bang takes him back. 3-2. 100 Thieves still making this half competitive.
The ground for Cryer as well. Tour de force coming in big time. A lot of defenders from Loud trying to make their way in. Some kills able to be traded, but largely pretty damn fast take. A slide in from Timo as well to really punish Darker. Map control. And swiftly, for the most part, by 100 Thieves. But yeah, those Cryo and Vora kills really stepping in to deliver that round over to even things up now. A bit more 3 and 2. See if we get another walk down again. A was where Loud initially started to get aggressive, and 2 of those players nearly made it into attacker spawn.
I mean, it was basically their full option. They had all of that ground if they really wanted to take it up. But back at it again. Loud. Down on the firepower.
Look at the
Combining
slowdown.
their options, combining their fire early on. There's over towards B. Like you said, the attacker's cutting off noise entirely.
I mean, they're
Being
expecting.
so safe here.
They're expecting Loud to make a move because Loud have been known to be aggressive on that defensive side. It's a lack of weaponry as well. Loud might want to make a play. Happily just let the first phase of this attack go by as we drop down about 45 seconds here. And now as it's Cryo slowly moving his way up. He might be walking into another trap. Remember, this was the same 3-man setup that we essentially saw in that pistol that won that opening pistol for Loud.
Gonna get cut down. Erde's on the front lines. Erde and trying to get away. Erde is able to get a headshot going. Needs a little bit more. Not able. But there goes the pinch. The 3-man setup just works. The pistols, they rain down heavy. And Loud still able to pull out a round.
Yeah, a lot of the members ended up going through Lincoln, just being caught up by the defensive setup. Flashes are good. Despite all the attempts to turn it around, a thrifty win, a gigantic thrifty win for Loud, which, you know, we did see that in the last map on Split, but instant response for 100 Thieves. This time, Loud want to make sure that they can push this one through and turn this one into a giant string of rounds being won. Even throwing in the extra Steel Garden for safety as well, just to make sure there's no opportunity for 100 Thieves to make a comeback in the round.
And I mean, what a time to do it. They still have a gun round coming up right after that, so not exactly necessary to Steel Garden. Luke Show taking on a whole lot of pressure. Jumping spots coming in. Luke Show able to pick away at one. Erde's there to clean up the pieces. And this round's over. Cryo in a 1-on-4. Surely, right, this round's over, right?
Yeah, anti.
1:15 left on the clock.
Massive anti-eco round. Yeah, just hoping to see if any damage gets done here, but the economy is looking so good for Loud, it probably won't even be a problem. Just Cryo looking for a single head to hunt. And won't find it as Verdi gets to clean up. 4 alive here. 5 and 2 in this opening half. This Pearl map choice for Loud starting to really work through in their favor. 100 Thieves will take the first time out. Discuss what they're going to get with the response as they finally get a little bit more money to play through, but a slow opening half so far.
Yeah, tough to really say what the hard adjustments are from 100 Thieves, because in the one gun round that they ended up losing, it wasn't exactly a bad option. They took their time. They really, really waited out every option from Loud. They had an eye on every angle or on every choke point in this map. Still, Loud didn't really clamp down on any of it. And they chose relatively correctly over towards B. It's just, oh my goodness. B is still such a wide site. Impossible for you to shut down every single angle on that site. Loud able to use that space, able to stretch their legs out, able to take full advantage, able to take away just the one round they needed to just fundamentally get back into place. That's just what happens in Valorant nowadays. When you win that pistol, when you win the bonus, you just get all this eco that all you really need is one little slip up for you to just continue to snowball.
It hurts even more given that it was a thrifty win for Loud as well.
Exactly.
Just walking into that setup. Here we go. Operator for Verdi, by the way. Defensive side. He'll be looking over towards B, but it's going to be a big A setup by the looks of it for 100 Thieves to start things out with. It'll be very early contact here as well. Is Loud also want to make a play.
Loud stepping up. They're going to have Erde alongside Kalwazine right next to each other, looking to burst onto Asuna. But they get out immediately too. Whole lot of util on their bodies.
They split.
Tuck their tails into the back of sight. Like you said, it is a split, but the split's not going to get spotted. There's nobody in Cadaveril.
There'll be a late rotate for Verdi. Might have to be a flank as well, but walking into 3 members with rotation coming through from Darker as well. Cryo up first.
angle has to be everything here for the Phoenix, and there it is. Run it back comes in, bursts out. Luke Show goes down. Luke Show still safe, still a nebula in his face. Kawanzian looking to line up a couple bullets. But again, this attack just continues to go through without a plant. Loud still so annoying. Raining in the bullets onto the one spike spot. And ladies and gentlemen, the rotation does happen. The attackers needing to tuck their tail back over into B, and there is still a player here. Is he able to get anything done? Verdi dancing. Verdi with an operator. You would have liked to see maybe a Phantom here, but Verdi relying on just a single shot here to take on this pressure. And this is now space for 100 Thieves, but this is Darker cleaning up a little bit. Gonna take some back, 4v2. Verdi still raining in the bullets. This is super tight here for 100 Thieves. They need a little bit of a miracle. They need a play. One more player remaining. He does have a run it back, but it's all gone. Luke Show with 3.
Bang being shut down in water really just, unfortunately, gives the game away somewhat. Long rotation required, and Verdi already posted something. This was going to be a bit more of a difficult round for Verdi if he had to make the long rotation with the op. It has the opportunity just to get the early damage, and as soon as we see the rotation from Link, Operator is fine for that. Plenty of delay in terms of util. He hadn't had to use any util up until that point. It's just a slowdown to get Darker into Tau with the opportunity to start finding those kills. And off the back of tactical timeout coming through from 100 Thieves, still the round can't quite go their way, and the lack of money will be the curse for 100 Thieves so far on this attacking side.
At this point, you're talking about how difficult it's been for 100 Thieves to get safely into these sites. Loud, regardless of what seems to be some flimsy holds in some of these mid areas and some of these choke points, they're still able to clamp down onto these sides. But hold on, Cryo able to take away a frag back, and there goes Bang. Yet another individual attempt at a frag. Yes, there was some support behind him, but the peak was lonely. The defenders are now down to 3.
And
Make
the
it
gun
2
converter as well. Timo will instantly find a kill off that stolen weapon onto Kawazine, and now 100 Thieves just punishing some of this aggression. You start with Cryo, getting the long range angle onto Link.
It feels
And now
over.
with the lack of Vice utility, this is going to be opportunity big time. I mean, obviously they have the numbers too, but freely they should be able to walk all the way into B. Has to get past the operator, which doesn't find a shot. Verdi needed a kill there.
It almost looked like a collateral too. Verdi, he had the stars aligning for him, but it just does not happen. The operator might be nice for the next round too. Verdi backing out, down super low on HP, but it was just a decay. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. 100 Thieves though, finally back in action. Getting a third round here.
A thrifty
And again,
one too.
what an interesting way to do it, because again, it's just not off of an exec. It's not off of something traditional here from 100 Thieves. It was the same mentality that I was really complimenting them for earlier. Just respecting Loud, making sure that Loud, they're not getting that early ground early on in these rounds, trying to get those early frags by just rushing. It just does not happen. No lurks, no rushes. And 100 Thieves this time, they finally catch some of those contacts, and they're able to convert. 100 Thieves back playing within their own play style, back playing within the way that they want Loud to play, basically.
And it might be Loud actually disrespecting the Sheriffs coming in from the 100T side as well.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, you have all these individual picks, a converted gun of the Timo, which he instantly finds a kill on. There's a majority pistols outside the one Bucky from Timo. You start things out with Cryo on the headhunter. Super long range as well. Darker did not expect to lose that duel. Finding a little bit more life coming through from 100 Thieves now. Otherwise, this was just going to be Loud running away with it. Similar to what we saw essentially on Split the other way around. But holding on to the op is still going to be Verdi. Needs to find a couple more kills in this half so far. He's a little quiet in the kill department, but he's also, again, playing slow in the op.
Oof, man, but he's missed out so many of these first shots. Verdi needs to convert now. He has another opportunity potentially coming up. The attackers swarming this B site. Quiet. Darker's going to be on the other side of this. Grab 100 Thieves, just trying to make their way through this wall, but there's nobody realistically on the other side waiting for a frag. Darker still getting grab willed from behind, and there you go. Bang finally picking out. And there goes Bang again.
Yeah.
2 on 4 now.
remaining.
And these defenders, one by one, just not able to find a buddy system, not able to find individual frags onto these 100 Thieves players. So much util covering their ground going into sight. And unfortunately, Loud, they fall into that same mentality again, that same behavior from before. Individuals trying to be heroes.
Full exec this time onto B. It's a two-man setup, and most players will get cleaned up a lot easier. The giant util dump coming through from 100 Thieves. They might not have won the round immediately after they did a pause, but now they've suddenly found their footing a little bit. Save coming through, obviously, for Calzine. And do not believe they managed to pick up that operator, although to be fair, I don't think Verdi's been really getting too much out of that anyway, so perhaps game is giving you a bit of a sign here to tell you play back onto the rifles, change up the style a little bit here as well. Going hunting though is still going to be awesome to see if they can just pick up this last rifle.
I got it.
And that is it. Oh man. So what does Loud actually have to work with for the rest of this half? It's 6-4 here. It was looking perfect for them before. But surely again, it just can't be that difficult now for Loud to try to change things, because each one of these attacks now from this 100 Thieves side going into this site, if they were spotted before, if they had some sort of a contact before the exec actually started, Loud had a good chance. But Loud not able to get any contact, not able to get their players into the right positions. Darker, he was having to play around with those grav wells for so long in the back of sight. Simply put, 100 Thieves, they made that job so annoying there for Loud. If Loud gets that contact, if they're able to kind of plant their feet a little bit earlier, potentially a different result.
2 rounds left to play through. Timeout to try and clean this one up for Loud a little bit. Finish 8-4 possible. At one point, they were 6-2. If this half goes 6-6, 100 Thieves will have made a pretty resounding comeback after a bit of a struggle in those initial 7 or 8 rounds.
Absolutely.
And money is massively flipped down. I mean, we had so many rounds in the middle there where 100 Thieves just had nothing to work through. Took them a while to find these last 2. And particularly that Thrifty. That Thrifty really buying 100 Thieves back. All the pistols, starting up the Headhunter on Cryo. Disrespect from Loud. Not considering the fact that, okay, you're going to be pushing into these sheriffs. Possibility you starting to drop rifles over is open. That's exactly what happens. And now, I've got to clean this one up a little bit.
Here comes the adjustment from Loud, and it's 3 players up in the front row, up in the front lines here of A.
And they're going to go for
it. Bang. Yeah, Bang alongside Asuna, waiting for it. Asuna gets one. Can Bang get the other? There's another player still looking to fight a little bit. And Loud anticipating another contact, and that has to be it already. 3 defenders remaining. And these attackers, there is no way that they're going to be looking to head on to B anytime soon. They want to work out the rest of this map now. They have plenty of time.
1 enemy remaining.
And even more kills going under their belt. Vora with another one.
Yeah, I mean, this is just getting a little bit desperate now with more Loud players trying to make a move forward. But all they had info to play on A was a single Prowler, and thought maybe it was enough. Clearly not. Walk into the trap of Asuna, posted up. Losing all the defenders, and now Calzine has to make the call again. Is this another save? 1 versus 4. Bear in mind, there's not been a plant yet, but 1 versus 4. 2 rounds left to play through. I think he might just have to go for it. He does have a little bit of cash in, so do what you can in the last 30 seconds, deal some damage over, but likely the round is all but over here. Yeah, especially if he's going to whiff the shots.
Yeah, we could see the stars align otherwise, but 6-5. This is already an astounding accomplishment here for 100 Thieves going into the second half, regardless if it's 7-5. We were looking at a potential 10-2 the way that this game was going. 100 Thieves now finding individual moments here where Loud kind of show themselves a little bit too thin. And it's not like 100 Thieves didn't force that situation. Every time that they have made their homes in B, they had so much utility cascading onto these players from Loud. There was no chance that the players in the back of sight could do anything, but here comes already a run it back from Asuna. Asuna around the corner looking for a little bit. He's going to get taken down, but there goes the important trade from Bang. The other defenders backing out into sight, but there's already another one down. Kawanzine gone. 1 player on site now. Verdi dancing, picking up 1. And tucking his tail now as it's already a disadvantage for Loud. 100 Thieves looking to tie this up.
Steel Garden coming on through. Still ultimates to play in, and that's the big thing. Loud came into this with essentially 5 ults. 3 players still alive. Is the steel gun going to be enough, though? Darker thinks it is, but Verdi instantly falling down. 2 versus 3. Crow still has a good angle, but he doesn't know that he's been flanked by Erda, who's been the hero so far for a lot of the winning rounds early on. Can he still be the hero now late in the day? 1 versus 1, and he's got it. A 3K in the final round of the half to make sure that this is still going to be a lead for Loud.
Gun here.
And how poetic is it? Loud have been waiting for Erde to make his difference on the season in general. And Erde comes in, making his impact known immediately in the server. What a play from Erde, baby! You love to see the sharp shots. You love to see the headshots coming out from Erde. And again, it doesn't need to come down to his decision making. It doesn't need to come down to the adaptations for us to be impressed. We can just get clips out of him. That works too. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a quick break. Avril, you can talk all you want after the break. I'm sure you got a lot of words. You're a word man. I know that. Ladies and gentlemen, break. We'll have more Valorant after we come back.
Too easy.
Spike down B. 1 enemy remaining.
Concealment. Too easy.
Spike down B.
Ult ready.
I'm dead.
Sleep.
Spike down B.
I have this.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Back at it again, and things are starting to look tight between 100 Thieves and Loud. 100 Thieves, they put on a clinic to start things off. It was 6-2 going into the end of that first half. 100 Thieves still putting it together, ladies and gentlemen, and now we have a ball game. 7-5 going into the second half. My name is Upmind, joined here by Avril. One of these two teams at the end of this BO5 will be making their way to Paris, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what's on the defensive side, though. They have 4 people clamping down on that mid side. We could see some fireworks early on.
And it seems like Loud is already prepared for this one, right? Prepped up is going to be the flash from Lookshow. And on the other angle, taking contact first is Darker. Flash comes through, but Ruckus actually got himself flashed for the time being. Cry with a double. Seems like 100 Thieves has got the better of Loud. I think Lookshow might have messed up his own flash. He self-flashed, potentially.
Yeah, that Lookshow messing up a flash. And he still had a great reaction from Cryo. Get out of here with that second kill. But now Loud shooting themselves in the foot a little bit, down to just 2 men. And before you know it, that lead from Loud might just be given here to 100 Thieves. They're not going to have anything to work with in that next round. And with the type of guns that 100 Thieves can afford, it's basically a full gun round coming up. Erde trying to make a play done completely on his own. The timing was almost there. It was almost perfect. And Kawan Zine. Wow! The plan was stellar. You had Kawan Zine looking to just slip in a plant to then slip back into A. Erde there to cut off the rotations. The idea good. The execution's just not there. It's not second level.
Just gonna have to run in and get that singular kill, but Cryo delivering 4 for this round. That really sucks for Erde. And he's trying to make that play a couple times. You've seen Loud defensively, covering it perfectly. This time on the offensive side, wanted to walk through in the water and just not quite getting it done. But this is the early part that we're going to talk about, the most important part, where unfortunately the setup coming through from Loud, not able to defend against the aggression from 100 Thieves walking members into mid.
They had the right idea, that's for damn sure. Cryo with that last shot again, instead of making it a 3-on-3, it extended it out to a 4-on-2. Sometimes it's as simple as that, but again, you did see some big mistakes come out in the middle. Here comes a big approach coming out from Loud. and 100 Thieves. Big battle over towards long. It's only Luke Show, while the rest of Loud going over towards mid. They might have just found the split in the Red Sea. Verdi in.
That's info.
Alongside the rest of the team into short.
If it does get the spot here, a lot of kills required. Vora
Spike
trying to do the
down,
damage. Spectre being picked up now by Verdi. Opportunity has been found. So we'll take the spike. It'll be an A ending. You have to believe at the moment. Cryo needs to hit these shots, but jumping Neon is just doing Neon things again. Hoping that that
second
won't be the
opportunity,
case in the next patch, but we're not there just yet.
Watch out for the
On
shields.
this match.
Cryo still needs to dance. He picks up one. Can he pick up a second? No, sir. 1 on 2, and it's still very possible here for Bang. Bang. Again, a couple opponents, no armor. They don't know he's here. They don't know he's here.
Spike
Bang
planted.
steps up. Can he isolate the frag? No, he cannot. Erde. Barrel to the forehead. Bang is out of here. Thrifty going over towards Loud, and Loud, they still have a chance to get a map.
Yeah, I mean, Loud, if that one goes away from them, we're 7-7, suddenly okay. 100 Thieves coming in with the potential to lead this map as they already lead the series. Another unfortunate potential definitely a self-flash there from Lookshow, but beyond that, the pickup on the Spectre, and then the fact that Verdi just completely outmaneuvers Cryo, who just can't land the shots required. As we head into this next round with nothing on 100 Thieves after winning the previous round, it's going to be 100 Thieves trying to make a potential play over towards at least minimum the orb to get this Tour de Force.
So all quiet
You
on
want
B.
to play? Let's play.
We do have the rotations coming in, but the util not spilling in just yet, but there it is. Still 30 in the backside, whole lot of util in the middle of the side. 100 Thieves isolating bit by bit these players, but Darker! Where does Darker come from? Darker with 3 out of nowhere, and he makes this round possible. Verdi now in the back line, 1 on 2. And this Outlaw, can it do enough damage onto a player here to stop him with a single bullet? I don't think so. And Cryo with a tour de force that has been ringing out true, rings out again. Another thrifty, this time for 100 Thieves, but can you really call it a thrifty? Amazing tour de force from Cryo that comes up big.
Oh, didn't have to pay for it. Steals away the orb. Brilliant setup over towards A. Nothing from Loud to prevent that from happening. And then the tour de force delivered exactly where it needs to be. And Darker nearly had an incredible play there to be able to prevent 100 Thieves from stealing that thrifty in. Got himself a 3K. Looked pretty good for a moment, but the tour de force will not be denied here. There's another opportunity. Cryo slammed not quite on the tour, but still sniping.
Obscuring vision.
Joke's up.
Bang taking on all this pressure. Has to just pull up every star in front of him and bounce. Luke Show looking for a kill before he leaves. And there goes Tim to take him down before the run it back expires. Still full 5 on 5. Birdie's gonna have to dance here. Not a lot of util here for this team, here for this defensive squad. They just expanded. Again, so many stars coming out of this. Birdie sitting down, getting ready for an approach. Cryo sitting up with the Outlaw, still able to get the pick. There goes Asuna jumping into the middle of the side with the Phoenix, still able to get the frag. Bang doing the exact same thing, but sitting on the extremity. Cryo jumps in, same thing with the Neon. Cryo does it again. Yet another 3K from Cryo, and yet another time now we're 100 Thieves. Proves Loud to be just too simple for them. 8-8.
Shuts down the half buy or the small buy coming through from Loud, and an Outlaw, the perfect choice to do so. You've already had a huge round on a tour. You had a huge round on the Outlaw. How about we get a huge round now on the Operator? Crow is just moving through an entire inventory of different sniper rifles available to him. So 100 Thieves just continue to find these rounds, and the amount of thrifties we've already had. 2 thrifties so far in this half alone. Finally some guns online. Lack of armor could be a problem, and I see a lot of phantoms on 100 Thieves to just burn through the Loud regen shields.
They're gonna plant Tim here. Tim's not gonna move. His whole job here is to get a contact and just start blasting. There's so many players around him to try to catch that contact too. Here comes the flash, and here comes the convergence. 2 kills from Loud. Make it 3. Vora's still here. Vora, the unknown entity in the middle of sight, still coming in, bouncing in a bullet. still bouncing at a frag, keeping things even 2-on-2, and it's all Vora once again, sitting behind this smoke, Darker and Erde. They're just going to go for the objective. Clean 2-on-2, never mind! Erde isolates Cryo, and Loud does it again! 9-8.
2-on-2 and perfect utility as well, completely shutting down player over an A-Link, and then Cryo trying to come in with an Opera. That's always going to be a difficult retake, just lose the duel straight up. And look at these early moments once again. Throwing the flash in, massive amount of trades back and forth, and surviving as Loud with just enough members. Vora struggling to make his way through the smoke. Ends up being 2 players alive. Erde leading the way. Look at this, 22-10 on the Astra of all agents.
Wow! Over 2 KD. Good stuff from Erde. Gotta be kidding me, and he has to do it again this time. Asuna in the mid side alongside Verdi. Verdi trying to step in. Darker taking out Asuna, but look out for the shotgun on the other side. Verdi still jumps through, still reveals 2. Now looking for the frags, able to get a frag out of it. Here comes Timotino, and he's gone. Verdi sweeps away B all on his own.
Overdrive out in force as well. Let's see what else he can get here. Cosmic Divide being dumped into this one. Loud want to make sure they hit the double digits nice and early, preventing 100 Thieves getting anything done on their end. Watch the Nightfall as well. Plenty of Util here. Another ultimate in play. 100 Thieves. What is their response going to be? Nightfall being ripped through. Only a Prowler
Doesn't
response.
catch the second player. It didn't catch the second player. Asuna's coming out. Goes Verdi now with the first angle, and ladies and gentlemen, it's only down to 1. Vora and a 1-on-3. Trying to dance now around the pillars. Verdi looking to close it out, and Erde is there to close it. 10-8, double digits for Loud. Loud finally finding a gap.
Yeah, here we go. 100 Thieves feeling that pressure. Double digits hit by Loud. Verdi, such heroism displayed here, just diving on through his own wall. Again, so quick to slide on in. And then eventually having still the ultimates in play. Cosmic Divide, Nightfall, and Vora in a impossible position with Verdi dancing around. Money situation for 100T looking pretty grim here as well. As the Loud that was kind of promised here, you know, have Erde join the roster, a new look on this Pearl as well, where you haven't, you know, I mean, granted, it was against G2. Both these teams lost this map against G2 most recently. However, this was your map choice. You lost to Haven earlier. Split was extremely ugly for Loud. And Loud needed something. We'll talk about your little bit at the end before we went to the break, where got to hold this L. Well, Loud are delivering that one over to 100 Thieves now.
Yeah, come on, man. You thought I was joking? You think this is a joke? Fazueli, ladies and gentlemen. Fazueli. Shout outs to my Brazilian fans out there tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Sticking around a little bit late to potentially see their team go to an international. Shout outs to Brazil, but shout outs to 100 Thieves here, ladies and gentlemen, where they're looking for a clean 3-0. We haven't seen a BO5 clean win for them in years at this point. We're still waiting for 100 Thieves to get back to an international, to face top teams. This would be their opportunity, but ladies and gentlemen, Loud, they want to keep this going. They want to make this a loud night. It's Darker in the front side, looking for the first contact. There's going to be no one else here outside of Bang, but with the util that Astra has, gets that first contact, and he's going to be able to delay so much time, so much util on the front side.
How about we get Loud with the Bang straight up? That's going to be the Sheriff shot finding True. Still a little bit of exploration over on the mid side as well, coming through from Erde, at least just playing for the lurk at the moment. Big rotations through from 100 Thieves after that initial contact, and 4 members leaning over towards A. Trademark gone. I don't know what's going to happen here. He's already gotten the single kill, but that just might be enough. Remember, there's not any real equipment here for 100 Thieves, so this is all positive for them. Actually thinking about going through from A, obviously already popping in the ultimate, and now the Flash doesn't see any members. A lot of smokes blocking his vision. We'll finally lose the running back, but Constantine finds Bang in either case. 3 versus 3 here. Multiple ultimates on board on the defensive side. Nightfall in first. Catches, I believe, potentially 2 members there. Opportunity to flash through the smoke. It's going to be Arsenal. Watch for that play. Arsenal just... Okay, delivers the damage, so it doesn't even matter. Timotino
Wow.
Delivers a thrifty off the back of the overdrive. You got the ultimates, you got the early picks. Crow gets his one as well.
Fight's not over, you know.
And suddenly 100 Thieves
Go, go, go.
quieting down the Loud offense ever so slightly.
Locking's vision. Gotta go.
Just with that one interaction, it was a little bit of awkward timing because Luke Show comes out and there's a player over in pit that spots him. So that just pops him out over for the radar. But Timo with the right ultimate at the right time. That's exactly the ultimate you want in a chaotic, close quarter situations like that. Gets it going, 10-9. Loud still not able to extend this lead farther than 2. But here comes again yet another chaotic start to a round potentially. The attackers all stacking around A. Loud. They don't exactly know if 100 Thieves are stepping up. You have Cryo up close but hasn't been spotted. It's all going to be Erde though. They just make a whole lot of noise in A main and now they cut.
And the tail of that Prowler, I was going to say, might have just spotted Erde towards the end, and Cryo
huge.
confirms it with the Tor round. We saw how big the last Tour de Force round was for Cryo. Now, delivering the opening shot onto Erde, the top fragger for Loud so far. Bang also walking up, by the way, on A. On B, rather.
And Verdi has to step up, but he's already going to be low in this interaction.
I'm out of here. Short cut.
Gets spotted out. Verdi just trying to slip through, trying to get into long, trying to create some sort of connection with the rest of his teammates, or even try to collect the lurker going up into long, but it doesn't matter for now. Timo with yet another frag, yet another stand in the middle of sight, and Bang now playing on the extremity of B. Just being annoying here. He could just keep his
30
position.
seconds left.
He does not need to show too much. So wait for his teammates to step up here. Cryo misses out on the first shot. He's going to get flashed out and banged out. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an opportunity here for the attackers. They have 20 seconds left. They're looking for the other side of the map. Gawanzine needs to run with a knife. There goes 15 seconds left. Gawanzine still somehow safe. Is he going to be able to make it behind a wall? No, he won't. Vora is going to be there to cut things off. 8 seconds. Hold on. Hold on. Come on. Doesn't hold on as Asana's just there too close. 100 Thieves. They shut down Loud.
Causing just needed a sprint, but I think time was against him. They wanted to commit over towards B. And eventually, not realizing that Bang had pushed up so far. Bang with the backstab. As the SE comes through from Link. That was a big part of that round. And then just a chase towards the end. Not much left to say on the Louder side of things as 100 Thieves will be able to get the 10 and 10 to even things out. So this map is still well within contention for a 100T 3-0 victory, punching the ticket into Paris by doing so as well. Loud, 7-5 finish to the first half. Got a couple more rounds in the second half, but trying to just build a lead in terms of the rounds has been so difficult to do. And now the money situation, as you can see, quite poor for Loud.
Yeah.
Coming off the back of another successful tour round, you might say. I mean, he didn't get a ton of kills, Cryo, but certainly that opening shot, opening kill onto Erde hurts things a lot.
Certainly enough if they start going on a loss streak. If they lose 2 rounds in a row, I mean, they lose one and then they end up making it to 12-11. Or 12-10, excuse me. They would still have enough for a semblance of a bye. They would still have something. They have safely made it to the end stage of this game, and now this is Loud's game to lose. It's hard to say that because, again, we're talking about a team that was up by 4. They were up by 5 in that first half. Loud, they need to flip things, and they need to flip things now. They already start off with a bit of an approach, to say the least. Erde, the last time that he was stuck here on this island over in A main, he was stuck in a he ended up getting isolated. He was gone. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes the approach over towards Cat, though. 2 prongs this time, and Birdie shoves the prong down Asuna, and now we're good to go here on site. 3 players in the back all trying to hold it down. Only one single person disconnected from the site, from the defensive side. Here comes Bang, and 2 more waiting for this crossfire. It's absolute chaos. Vora and Timatino on one side, Bang on the other. Bang's able to get 2, and a cascade from Bang and Bang alone. 4 kills from Bang. The meat grinder in the back of sight was perfect, 11-10.
And Cryo wasn't even part of that play as well, still waiting patiently over towards the B side of things. Perhaps a rotation late in the day from Loud. It's a 3-man setup that ends up being the victory, and Bang surviving everything as well. Under pressure from so much util. And Loud thought they had cleared it with utility. They dropped in the Star, dropped in the Nova Pulse, had the stun on the Bang, and he just waited it out found his moment, and late in the day on that round gets every single kill required.
Oh my goodness, and Loud going back to the half buy, going back to the line armor.
Recovering it.
Last time we saw this, it ended up in disaster. They weren't able to do anything. They ended up getting caught out individually. This was all the way back over on Haven, but this map is still similarly as big, similarly as vast. A lot of these players from Loud, they might decide to be a hero here in some of these angles. As we see over in mid, a quick check of the 6. Nothing there in the corner, but Cryo now with two players on the other side of his crosshair. Potentially, Erde might be dropping out of the smoke, and down goes Erde. Cryo with the first big frag, looking now for this match point. Cryo picks up a second, and might be able to pick up a third. Dancing with a little bit more space here onto Darker. The Neon shutting him down with a stun. One person remaining again here for Loud. It's a 1-on-4. Darker still trying to drag his team into Paris from this upper bracket. And not only that, I gotta remind y'all, if you lose this game, ladies and gentlemen, you still have to play 2 games in the lower bracket. Loud is looking at a packed weekend of Valorant, ladies and gentlemen. Well, 100 Thieves, they might be looking to kick back immediately. Darker in a 1-on-4 still, dancing around the pillar. Timo just making it annoying. 12-10, 1 round away from Paris.
Playing with his food at the end there.
Match
Darker
point.
just has way too much work to do. And as Cryo delivering once more, we've seen him deliver across the tour on the Outlaw. Big operator round. Early first down, causing to follow through. And despite going down there, Cryo has just put in the work. He's overtaken Erde now in terms of the KD. As 100 Thieves overtake in the round score as well. This is the qualification point. One more round of 100 Thieves, and they 3-0 the series, and they make it to EWC.
Tino looking for a pixel. He did find one, but doesn't click that mouse one. Still waiting for a second opportunity. And not able to capitalize. Just around the corner, Verdi looking to back away, and is still fine. Still plenty of Valorant to be played in this round. Loud tucking their tail back over towards mid, and nobody from the defensive side is making this job feel too much harder for them. Just look over towards A main, though. Cryo. What a dangerous little spot. Just to pick away one and make the job a whole lot more difficult here for Loud. Cryo gets picked down, runs away, doesn't TP just yet, waiting for a second opportunity for a frag once again. He has a teammate right next to him. Cryo dancing, finds a pick. No sir, no kill. Loud is into sight, even strength, 5-on-5. Spike might need to go down before a kill even goes in, but Asuna comes around the corner, sweeps away two. Cryo stands tall. Yet another kill for Cryo, and this is yet another insurmountable opportunity for Darker. 1v4 for Darker. And ladies and gentlemen, hide your valuables. The Thieves are coming to Paris. 100 Thieves are going to the Esports World Cup.
Massive 3-0 victory. A huge win on split, one-sided. Haven even wasn't too much coming through from Loud, where the loudest they did get was on their map choice of Pearl, leading the map in various cases, but not leading for long enough to stop 100 Thieves from running away with this one, and they will get away with the bankroll of their life, the heist of their life here to once again make it back-to-back EWCs. 2025 EWC, 100 Thieves qualified in. Now in 2026, they'll make it there as well. And for Loud, into the lower bracket they go. They haven't been eliminated, but their path will be a bit more difficult now.
Yeah, very similar story to last year. This is 100 Thieves that they're just not at a top form. They're just not living out a moment that they would be proud of. And yet still 100 Thieves, they have found an opportunity to find silverware. They have found an opportunity to find triumph in this difficult season, in this season that is littered with giants throughout the VCT Americas. And ladies and gentlemen, Loud, they're looking to be future giants. They're your little giants for now. He is a name to stay on your books, ladies and gentlemen. You have to keep looking out for this Erde player, ladies and gentlemen. He's only come in now for only 3 weeks now in VCT, and he's already made quite the impact. He flipped Loud from a non-playoff team to a playoff team. and out of nowhere, Loud beating one of the teams going international here in terms of NRG. Again, like you said, still a chance in that lower bracket. So, yeah, it'll be a fun lower bracket to say the least. But this series, 3-0, fun for 100 Thieves fans to say the least.
In the background as well, it might be worth reporting that as we see the scoreline here, 3-0 over 100 Thieves. Of course, we had games playing off stream. NRG did take down Fury at 2-0, so you mentioned NRG. And speaking of them, just briefly here, and it does connect into some of the storyline that we have for this particular match, but you mentioned, look, Loud have not had Erde for that long. It was the EWC qualifier from last year in 2025 that Scuba actually came on to NRG for the first time, and that led to an NRG qualification into EWC, and eventually that year as well, a champs victory. So this is the event where, you know, you start to debut some new players, you change things up a little bit, and maybe your fates will turn. And for Loud, there still is that lower bracket run. I believe it will be Loud versus Sentinels.
Wow.
In that lower bracket, see NRG already taking down Fury. They'll be going up against Leviathan. Lev, I mean, that's going to be an incredible game. NRG versus Lev is disgusting. That is a crazy good game.
Disgusting. And for a BO3-2, it's not even going to be best of 5. We got denied BO5 between Lev and NRG. That would have been so sick. So sick. But both of those BO3s, ladies and gentlemen, will be going down tomorrow. And again, very consequential because, again, these two teams, or whatever two teams end up coming out of these two matches from the lower bracket tomorrow, again, still not done. Me and Avril will come back here to the broadcast on Sunday to bring you guys the last qualifier for Paris. But yeah, for now, Avril, any last thoughts here for the night?
Yeah, I best of luck to see Loud in the lower bracket. We'll have to wait and figure out how they're going to go. Obviously, Sentinels are down there, and then after that, either NRG or Lev. So, one spot left to play through. We've already qualified in MIBR. We've already qualified in now. Congratulations, 100 Thieves. They'll be meeting G2, who got invited over to the EWC, and I can't wait to see who our last Americas team will be.
A cutthroat format, to say the least, ladies and gentlemen, and it all comes to a head tomorrow. We have day 3 coming up tomorrow. We'll be seeing 2 great best of 3s on our screens. But again, tune in once again here to our EWC official accounts for more Valorant action. Thank you for the time once again. Have a great night, folks.
Enemy remains.
Nice try. I'm out of here.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Going up.
One enemy. Last player standing. One enemy remaining. Spike down. One enemy remaining. Last player. Spike down B. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Last player standing. Spike down B.
Blocking vision.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Next. Teleport's ready.
Spike down B.
さあ進むんだまだ見ぬ新境地目指していこうドキドキしようよ準備開拓早くもっと回らないこの世界を楽しんでみたんだ
One
き